Hello, welcome back to one of my name's Beast, and I don't know why I did that piece, son. Actually, I really regret that. Actually. Anyways, hello, welcome back to all the my name's Beast, and today we're back with ToHeart2. I'm gonna immediately be honest with you. I'm not gonna be recording for too long. It's a fucking miracle that I'm recording today at all, considering I had a shift and I'm tired. However, I want to at least get to the scene where, you know, his plans come to fruition, you know? Yeah, anyways, let's just get into it. But he's got long fur, right? Isn't it hard to look after? Hijimato's fur is glistening. Like, I feel like there should be something else here. But for some reason there's not. Hold on. Now that is too long ago. That's 2 hours of content I have to skip.
大きいからシャンプーするときなんか一苦労なんだよ。嫌がらないから助かるんだけど。
Doesn't it make it unbelievably hot in summer? That reminds me, doesn't he just sit in the shade of a tree unmoving? Well, he normally does that, but it's even more consistent in summer.
前に毛を買ってあげようとしたんだけど、ものすごく嫌がっちゃって、どうしてだろう。
Beats me. I wonder if it's the same way people don't like being naked.
ああ、そうなんだ。
No, don't go agreeing with me. Oh, we can go for her again. She's at the school gate, however she'll have to fucking wait because personal fucking annoyance! Tomorrow is the closing ceremony and Marian's farewell. I ended up being the producer, host, and planner for Marian's graduation ceremony. It's only an extension of the closing ceremony, so isn't really a big deal. Look at the cardboard box I'm hefting. I'm feeling this will come in quite handy. Well, whatever. I stumble around with the cardboard box. A shrill voice pierces my ears. My heart sinks as I look around. I knew it.
あんた、クラス委員になったんだってね。
What the fuck are you doing here? I didn't click on you! Well, there are various reasons behind it. I say when in fact it was just that, for that one meeting. She jabs at me with her index finger.
これで勝ったと思うなよ。
How? But all I would have to do to be a committee member is to raise my hand at the start of term. I give her a send-off worthy of a person who made the effort to come here just to say that phrase.
河野くん、今の。
Don't worry. Takes all sorts. I laugh sincerely.
それで、お仕事は順調?
In terms of making things run spot on, that kind of thing is what the president is good at. Look over at the podium with the president. She directs the other members, pointing to where equipment needs to go.
でも、びっくりしちゃった。いきなりクラス委員になりたいって言うんだもの。
I could have asked you to help me out, but there's a job and problem I'd rather not hand over. It would have been quite a burden to you. I never told Komaki the details, but she does seem to comprehend what I wish for.
じゃあ、明日は頑張ってね。
Look at Senpai. Our eyes meet. She then breaks contact and heads to the back of the stage. Final match will be tomorrow at last. I'm prepared to throw down. Almost time for bed. Quick, turn off the TV before I end up compulsively watching something. I reach for the power button and a huge explosion fills the screen. It seems to be a preview of the next movie. After that comes a bunch of previews for movies debuting during Golden Week. And it's just one CG spectacular after another this year. Lured back in, I reclaim my seat. I'll end up watching the whole movie this time. But I have to say, those previews didn't look half bad. Especially the mystery and horror movies. Seems like they fool me every time. 24th! Murder, murder, murder. I stretch while the bed, stand up, move my arms. As I move my arms, there is none of yesterday's fatigue. The very picture of health. Throw open the curtains, open the window, and breathe in the outside air. Today's closing ceremony, the end of the year. Though it's just another day. But his graduation ceremony day is different. There's nothing different about it for me. And I'm sure some people want it to be special. Today is a fateful day for two girls. I prepare my uniform, down my breakfast, and rush off to school. It was decided that the officials at the closing ceremony should go to school earlier than the rest of the students for a meeting and preparations. Particularly me, given I'm in charge of the extra proceedings for the special ceremony for Marion's graduation. I absolutely cannot be late. I'm out of breath as I climb the hill. Okay, this makes it seem I'm now officially on her route, actually. Like, everything before was like option, like, hey, go hang out with her often enough to enter her route. This is like her proper route because we don't even get to choose who to go for. I just barely make the start of the work hours. I leave my bag in the classroom and take off to the gymnasium. The officials are congregating in front of the gymnasium. I see various people from the gathering and greet them cheerfully. Good morning!
Ohayo!
Komaki comes before me and greets me. As always, she's arrived with plenty of time to spare. Next is...
Os! Ora, Yuji!
What are you doing here?
おいおい、愛しの楠川様の晴れ舞台のお写真を撮ってやろうとカメラ担当を志願してやったんじゃねえか。感謝くらいしてくれたっていいだろ
I told you. I don't have time for this. Yuji taps me on the shoulder mockingly, giving me a headache. Well, leaving stupid Yuji aside, it's not like I know the rest of the members' faces, but it seems most have gathered. I noticed the person who told us not to be late herself, however, is not amongst those gathered. That's Kusugawa. To which Komaki also seems to have noticed, shakes her head apologetically.
わからない。生徒会長と同じクラスの人に聞いても、今日は見てないって。
I checked my watch. It's the preparation time, so there's some time for the closing and graduation ceremonies. Besides, Kusugawa has already delegated responsibilities and even prepared instructions, so if she's not here for the business meeting, it's not like it'll ruin the ceremony.
ま
However,
さか逃げたんじゃ。うんうん。マーリャン先輩に勝てないって分かって逃げたんだよ。
those are the sort of comments the officials start saying. Is this how it ends? Kusugawa will come. I want to believe
私、
that.
先生に言って自宅の方に電話してもらってくる。
Yes, please. Komaki is already running to the staff room. I see her off, turn to the other officials and say, Hey, everyone start preparing! The president's probably busy, but when she comes back, she'll get angry. Clap my hands, dispersing everyone to their stations. While they do have their posts, a team can't function without a leader. There's never been a deputy, someone has to take the lead. Initially, people grumble, but they all fall in line when the president's invoked. That solves one problem for now. Next is just to wait for Kusugawa. The other thing I have to do...
もうすっかりサーリャンの女房役だね、タカリャンは。
Well, that fucking solves that problem. Don't need to call her. She's already here. But uninvited, I say and turn around.
やっほほ
Marion raises her hand slightly in greeting.
むふタカリャン、いつか割烹着着てご飯作ってほしいにゃ。
Put on a bitter smile. Anyway, I quietly asked Marion, will Kusugawa come? Marion takes a deep breath.
来るよ。タカリャンの信じてるサーリャンならきっと。だからもう一度やるって決めたんしょ。
Marion glares at me mischievously.
だから男が迷うだタカリャン。女になりたいならモロッコ行きは止めないぞ。
Okay. I nod as if to confirm my belief.
じー。
Huh? Yuji, what the fuck are you still doing here? Stare pierces me and I turn around when Yuji smiles creepily and says,
いやー、俺はお前のために生徒会長のお写真を撮るのが仕事だから本人がいないことには。ああ、お前と前生徒会長との意味深なツーショットはちゃんと押さえといたぞ。お前、本当に年上が好きなんだな。
My head hurts. The closing ceremony preparations proceed steadily without Kusugawa. The final preparations and checks are complete and she still hasn't shown up. There are only 5 minutes left.
おい、楠川のお姉様はまだ来ないのか？
先生に聞いてみたんだけど、家の電話には出なかったみたい。
I questioned students from her class and they also said they haven't seen her. She can't intend to leave us like this. Komaki, Yuji, and the other officials who are commanded look at me as provisional leader. I look at Marion pleadingly. She just stands silently with her hands on her hips. Senpai, My voice cracks, waiting for a response. I said I believe in Kuzugawa, but the person I believed in is not here. There are lots of people here. There are also many who are not. If we wait for her here, it'll cause problems. If she doesn't come, it'll be a disaster. My pride is forcing me to overcome this, but can I?
だから
Yes? Marian says with a tender
タカリャン
smile.
が決めていいんだよ。
え？
私はゲストだもん。今のタカリャンにとって他の子はみんな脇役なんでしょ。監督はタカリャン、脚本もね。だからタカリャンが決めていいの。ここはタカリャンが決めた世界なんだから。だから待つも待たないも信じるも信じないもみんなタカリャンの決めた通りでいいって思ってるよ。
Look at the people gathered. The closing graduation ceremonies in Kuzugawa's fate. It's okay for me to choose. Everyone looks at me, waiting for an answer. For my answer. My decision is... Right! We're going to drag things out at the graduation ceremony, about 30 minutes max. Komaki nods and goes over to the teachers. 30 minutes, that should be just tolerable enough for the uninitiated. Everything else, as it will be when we start. Marian to the guest throne. Watch everyone disperse and head for the school building.
タカリャンは
Marian looks over her shoulders as she heads to her place. I'm going to find Senpai. This really is a gamble. Round trip to Senpai's house in 30 minutes would be hard. I can't accomplish such a possible feat, let alone searching aimlessly throughout the city. In which case, there's only one choice. I'm sure Senpai's come to school. She's simply a little short in courage and paralyzed on this occasion. That's what I believe. Problem is, though, where on earth is she? Infirmary, student council room, or remember something? That's right, we're running back to that day. Rush to the into the school grounds and clamber up the stairs. I almost tripped numerous times, but I climb each level as though flying. It's up there. She's up there. If I'm rewinding back to that time, for sure. The rooftop. During the graduation ceremony, Senpai was there. I'm about to collapse as I look out over the rooftop. Where is she, Senpai? Feeling faint in my dim vision, I just make out a person's figure. I don't need to see clearly to know. It's Senpai!
Kono-san?
Kuzugawa turns around in surprise as I muster my remaining strength to call out to her. My voice echoes throughout the school. Stumble but continue to Senpai.
河野さん、あなた
Senpai supports me as I'm about to
どう
drop.
して
Why you ask? Pull away from her hands and stand on my own strength and I smile at her. It's about to begin the closing ceremony. Shall we go? Marian's come.
マーリャン先輩
On hearing Senpai's name, Kuzugawa averts her eyes and falters, stiffening. She's afraid, Senpai. Are you by any chance scared? But you're always telling me that you've got used to people hating you, so it should be okay. So what are you afraid of, Senpai? I demand. Her pale face goes paler still, but she denies her fear.
私が何を怖がってるっていうの
I answered. The end. That you'll lose a fragment of your heart.
欠けてなくなる
The end of those memories will be a loss to you. The person who's always been there is leaving, so in an attempt to rid yourself of the grief of those memories, you tried to make it as though it never happened. Senpai, your favorite saying, pretend it never happened, was that, wasn't it?
そんな私は
But Kuzugawa's voice is trembling, unable to hide her fear. She abrasses herself, repeating the words over and over like a spell.
私怖くない怖がってなんかない何も怖くないだって私は先輩が嫌いだもの先輩と私の間には何もないもの
Senpai's shouts echo in the skies, but to me those shouts ring hollow. Is that true? Do you really think that's true?
そうよ
Photo time.
私には失って困るものなんて何もない
She scowls at me as she holds back her tears. Her heart that she's been repressing all this time is exposed. But Senpai pretends not to notice. I took out a student notebook in from my breast pocket. Then I show her the photo she kept hidden. The right half with Kuzugawa. And what about this?
それは
Senpai grabs with a notebook in her bag and she realizes she
河
lost
野
it.
さんあなた
I know it was wrong, but that's how I came to know. The truth of your heart is in this picture. I I shout. However, Senpai shakes her head again and again and finally denies it.
何もないわ。そんなのただの写真よ。そんなもののどこに本当のことがあるっていうの？そこには世界がなくなってほしいって思ってるバカな女の子しかいないじゃない。
Senpai screamed, but she's not shouting at me. The truth is there, and she can't deny it. She's shouting at herself, the girl who wants the world to end. So I have to show her the truth. Lost half of a heart. Senpai, I point once more to her notebook. What about this? Senpai responds to my voice, looking up. There's one more part of the photo, the other fragment, the lost half. I connected the two parts to show her. With this... Is this just a photo of a girl who wishes the world would end?
そんな
Senpai's eyes go wide as she stumbles onto the fence.
そんなこと
Tears start pouring from Senpai's eyes. She can no longer hold back. They're streaming from her subconsciousness. Senpai reaches for the picture. There are two girls in that photo, one short with a beaming smile flashing with a peace sign. The other girl had a gloomy expression and was averting her gaze. Also, she'd probably do that. However, does this help the truth of the girl that wished the world would end? Both of their fingertips, both of them had their hands extended between them, their fingers were intertwined. The two girls were Kusagawa and Marion. You wished the world would end. In that case, it'd be better if this picture had disappeared. You were here that day. You tore up this picture to make it all disappear. Pull apart the pieces. So why are you crying? Holding tightly onto that part of yourself. That's... Walk out of Senpai and let her touch both parts. Because the other girl disappeared. She disappeared and left a gaping hole in her heart. That's it, isn't it? They're always saying it's just forget it ever existed. Yet people aren't that convenient. If you lost these memories, it'd really be your heart that loses something. She grabs it and holds it tight to her chest. Me neither. Can't forget your existence. That's how I was. I was sad whenever you pushed me away. When I realized I couldn't help you, it hurt deep down. Meeting you, your tears, your touch, couldn't forget each and every one of those things. Everyone saw Senpai was cold-hearted and sociable and pushed them away, so no one tried to step into her heart. Senpai herself was also always on her guard, making herself an outcast to prevent herself entering other people's hearts. So she got used to being ignored and hated. From the start, there was no one in her heart, so she couldn't get hurt. Even when she was stung, the wound was shallow, that's all. But Marion and I were different. Due to Marion's cheeky nature and me realizing that facade wasn't the real Kusagawa. Only Marion and I entered Kusagawa's empty world. Both of us became a part of her heart. Let's go, Senpai. This is the end. If you miss this opportunity, she will disappear. I'm sure that then Senpai will leave a gaping hole in your heart for all eternity.
でも
But how can I face her now? That's what Kusagawa's eyes were pleading. Seeing that, I have one answer. Why not just say a few words? She can't disappear then. Even then, you'll be left with beautiful memories.
高木1分前
That's scrambled to the assembly hall. Sorry I'm late. Running at the top speed from the top of the stairs to the bottom to breathe heavily.
それで河野くん、生徒会長は？
I asked and turned to look towards the door. She said she's washing her face. I think she's here. The moment I say that, Kusagawa rushes into the assembly hall. You can tell from the look of relief on everyone's face. She's the leading actress. Alright, let's begin! Despite the closing ceremony starting 30 minutes late, it proceeds without a hitch. It was going to be an ordinary closing ceremony from the start, but there was nothing unusual. The whirlwind that is Kusagawa does her presidential address without hesitation, giving thanks to the student council. It's a regular closing ceremony so far.
河野くん、
With the end approaching, I'm handed the mic from Komaki. I check the switch and bring the proceedings to a close. And with that comes an end to the closing ceremony for the third semester. As I finish, the hall fills with applause. However, I wait for the clapping to die down. To continue, take a deep breath and read out the scribbled script. Marion, the previous student council president, successfully completed her examinations and has been informed that she can graduate. Marion rises from her guest chair's position and stands appealing to the audience. Marion was absent from the graduation ceremony and her results weren't adequate to receive a graduation certificate at that time. Therefore, as a student representative, I'd like her graduation ceremony event to be held here to see her off. Sarcastic smiles and bitter laughs are heard. Principal, if you please, I say, and the principal stands with a nod and moves to the dais. The officials hand him the brightly colored diploma. He glances at Kuzugawa, just completely pale. She's holding her hands over her heart, wishing for something. Just what is she wishing for? On the other end, Marian is on stage and the ceremony's end is drawing close.
同文
That was probably intentional. The principal's gag eases the tension and the hall breaks out in laughter. Then Marian received the diploma, turns to the crowd and waves it in the air. The crowd roars and applauds. Kuzugawa raises her head in response. Hey, senpai, that certificate, is it the real thing? Check it, please! To which Marian gives me the finger. However, that ensures her graduation's reality. I push the mic away and take a deep breath. I'm not the one on the stage. Still, I'm trembling and frozen in place. That's how I feel yet. The true protagonist must be... Well then! I take plenty of time before grasping the mic. I inform the audience. It appears Marian's diploma isn't a forgery, so as student representative, I think she deserves a farewell address. Predictably, a stir raises in the hall. I still jump. The enrolled student representative, student council president Sasara-Kuzugawa, if you please. I say, but there are no cheers this time. Applause, even as a formality, seems to have been forgotten by everyone.
河野さん
Kuzugawa appeals. Her lips are trembling and she stares
河
at
野
me.
さん原稿は
I shake my head. Yeah, no, you don't get a speech. Speech? I don't think that's necessary. This is a farewell address from Kuzugawa to
河
Marian.
野さん
There's always been a speech. In your heart. I shouldn't have done that because that just sounds like now it just looks like he just walked up to her, just poked her in the boob. It's right there. Actually, like more in the middle. Sorry, kind of missed. The speech isn't in the mammary glands. Is what I'm trying to say. Be awkward if you like someday far in the future you have a child you're trying to fucking nurse and somebody just starts rattling off the speech because it accidentally swallowed it.
心の
She puts her hand to her chest. Then she raises her head and looks at Marian standing below the stage. Marian stands imposing, stands with her hands on her hips, bracing herself. Kuzugawa grips something tight in her hands, and she heads for the dais and steps forward. I can no longer see her expression. Step by step she makes her way on stage. Then she stares at Marian's face. A long silence. Each of them look at each other, and then
掃除
Senpai closes her eyes and says, her hands clutching her heart as she reads out the speech that doesn't exist.
マーリャン先輩ご卒業おめでとうございます
Kuzugawa's voice echoes.
今この学びの園を巣立つ先輩の胸中にはたくさんの希望が満ち溢れているかと思います
Kuzugawa's tender voice. The speech could easily apply if Marian was replaced by any other graduating student. But for me and Marian, it's clear it's to see off Marian alone. This is the end, so it's to leave something beautiful in her heart, in both of their hearts. Then the end of the farewell address draws
最
near.
後にもう一度在校生を代表して先輩に心からお礼申し上げます長い間本当にありがとうございました卒業される先輩のご健康とご活躍をお祈りして掃除とさせていただきます
Honest God, it would actually be hilarious if at the end she just threw out a line like, and possibly to gain some awareness of, you know, what money is worth. Thanks for the extra work. She articulated. Relieved, she takes a deep breath and adds one more thing. However,
在校生代表楠川ささ
a strange silence fills the hall. Last word is inaudible. Is that the word? The end of the speech? Should we applaud? Everyone cannot decide. However, if there is something wrong with the... Wondering if there's something wrong with the mic. Kuzugawa tries to speak once
楠川
more.
ささ
Once again, the end is inaudible. It's like there's nothing there to begin
さ
with.
ささ
Kuzugawa repeats herself over and over. Every time the end cannot be heard. After an eternity of tense, she lowers her head and grips her fists. That strange sound suddenly comes from Kuzugawa. A tiny voice is audible. The very moment can be heard from that mic. A pathetic noise echoes throughout the gymnasium. Everyone looks at each other and then turns to the source of that crying voice. Amongst her cries, she whispers. Marian stares at Kusugawa.
やだ
サーリャン。
やだ卒業しちゃやだ
Kusugawa's eyes are pouring tears and she shouts at Marian.
やだ卒業しちゃ
Her face is disheveled as Sasara Kusugawa breaks down in tears. There is no sign of the girl ridiculed as the vice commander there. There is no one but a frail young girl.
卒業しないで先輩お願いお願い聞いてくれたら何でも言うこと聞くからお願い
Kusugawa whines, running childishly to Marian on the stage. She begs, forgetting that she's in the gymnasium during the closing ceremony in front of all the
行
students.
かないでお願い卒業しないで
あ、
お願い
Perhaps Senpai wasn't on the roof to delay the graduation ceremony, but to prevent it happening entirely. If it never happened, then Marian wouldn't graduate. That's her wish, for Marian to stay with her forever. But now Marian shakes her head, and she lowers her head and
な
sighs.
んでもって言われると、サーリャンに水着投稿を強要したくなっちゃうけど、
She teases, but then she tells Kusugawa.
無理だよもう。卒業証書もらっちゃったもん。
先輩
Tears flow from Kusugawa's eyes once more. Why did you get the diploma? To Kusugawa, it's all the diploma's
仕方がないの。
fault.
初めから決まってたことなの。
She admonishes like to a child.
サーリャンといつかお別れしなくちゃいけないってことは、ずーっと前から決まってたの。どうにもならなかったの。
でも
Kusugawa tries to take Marian's back, but it's too late. Understanding that, she says to Marian,
じゃあ私も学校辞める
サーリャン、それは
こんな学校もういいの先輩いないならもういいの
Kusugawa lashes out. Marian refuses to
辞める
accept
と
that.
卒業は違うんだよ、サーリャン。
先輩
Kusugawa falls
それに
apart.
こんなって言わないの。こんな学校でもいいことあったでしょ。
He says, and Marian
だ
looks
か
at
ら
me.
さ、
Marian says, but Senpai crouches like a little lost
ひ
child.
どい先輩は私を見捨てていくの先輩がここに連れてきたのに自分だけ行っちゃうの
そうだね。
He doesn't deny it, speaking
じゃあ
softly.
どうして生徒会に誘ったのいつかお別れしなくちゃいけないならどうして
Marian lets out a huge sigh, then she gazes at Kusugawa. Marian is thinking about something, but she can't think forever. She approaches Kusugawa, grips her hands, and hesitates, and
それは
says...
ね、サーリャン。
She pauses there, puts on a sad smile, and says
大
clearly...
嫌いだったから、サーリャンが。本当は大嫌いだった。大嫌いだったの、サーリャン。いつもつまらなそうな顔してたから。
Marian thinks back.
サーリャン、私と違って美人で頭が良くて何でもできて、こんなにも世界に愛されてるのに、世界なんか今日にも終わっちゃえみたいな顔してたから。
Marian
だから
chuckles.
ね、私はサーリャンが大嫌いだった。許せなかった。何この子、どういうつもりっていつも思ってた。私の学校を消すくらいなら一人でどっかに消えちゃえって思ってた。だからなの。私がサーリャンを誘ったのは、
先輩
私の嫌いなサーリャンがいなくなるように、きっと笑わせてやる、嬉しがらせてやるって思った。そうすればきっとその仏頂面じゃなくなるって。私の嫌いなサーリャンはこの学校からいなくなるって思ったの。
Marian reaches out and strokes Kusugawa's fingers.
私ね、サーリャンを楽しくさせたかったの。
My hands are really cold!
先輩
I wonder if I just have circulations problems? Would explain a lot. Oh, hold on. Symptoms of bad circulation. see. Painful cramps, numbness, weakness, swelling, varicose veins. I don't have that. Exhaustion, feeling cold. I do got that. Poor cognitive function. I like to believe that I do have that. Weak immune system. Not that bad. Like I have stuffy nose a lot, but that's it. Hair loss and weak nails. Neither. A disrupted bowel movements. It's like the shits. Not often enough to where it would probably be an issue. Erectile dysfunction. No, I very much still get hard. No. Marian's hands grip Kuzugawa's hands tight.
私、バカっ子だから、私のせいで、サーリャンはますます不機嫌になって、嫌なこといっぱいさせちゃって、サーリャン、困らせちゃうばっかりだったね。
そんなこと。
ごめんね、サーリャン。楽しくさせてあげられなかったよ。
Marian's words crack and tremble. Kuzugawa shakes her head. She grips Marian's hands back. Kuzugawa's crying voice echoes throughout the gymnasium. Couldn't be halted. Went on and on and on.
泣き疲れて寝ちゃった。なかなか話してくれなくて。
Marian has a bashful expression as she leaves the school infirmary. Kuzugawa's in the infirmary. Since she could not stop, she was extorted out of the gymnasium, and the graduation ceremony drew to an end. I open my mouth to apologize, but Marian stops me to say,
君はいいことをした。ノーベル平和賞ものだぞ。
Senpai, the comment relieves me. I thought it was for the best that Kuzugawa could come to terms with her goodbyes. Of course I hadn't known it could end like this all along. I figured it's still a decent way to conclude it. But it's easier said than done. In the end, it's not my problem. I was thinking of Kuzugawa's determination to not let go. Shallow injuries are the easiest to recover from, but wounds are still painful for the wounded. It's no trivial matter. So thinking of the hurting Kuzugawa and the infirmary, I can't say I'm pleased. Maria notices my glum expression. She beams and says,
君にご褒美をあげよう。
Okay.
手出して。
Huh? Put up a hand as instructed. Then Marian taps my hand. What on earth?
バトンタッチ。
Huh? My brain goes blank. Baton pass?
あとは君に任せた。
Fatal sword. I don't have a persona, right? Persona jokes, haha. I think Fatal Sword was one of the one that increased damage with Baton Pass. Fuck, now I need to look this up. Nah. Physical skills. Which was it? Fucking damn it. Brave Blade. It wasn't that. What was it? Brave Blade, Brave Blade just had an enhanced crit rate. What was it then? Deadly Fury. It was Deadly Fury, Rising Slash. Those were the ones. That was fucking stupid. I forget that Beast Weaver was a skill that exists. Fucking terrible.
サーリャンを自分好みに調教してくれたまへ。
To train? What? Then Marion whispers to me.
触れてあげて。
Touch.
指先でいいの。それがあの子の望みだから。
But
触るだけならあの子は壊れたりしないって。でもあの子華奢だから守ってあげないとね。
Marion looks at me. She
タカ
smiles.
リャンならできるよ。
She says, but I have nothing to say. I can make no promises.
先輩
I raised my head on hearing that voice. Kuzgawa was standing there with a shy
Ochitsuita?
smile.
はい
I like to imagine he just looks over at her and just like pokes her in the side of the head. Like that? Like just pokes in the side of the head, looks over at Mario, just like that? Do we actually know her full name at this point? Or are we still just referring to her as Marion? Funnily enough, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just check. I decided, okay, let me just check in fucking on the fucking Aquapazza site. However, there she is also just called Marian. You will not know her name. The antithesis to the fucking Xenoblade battle theme. She answers, blushing. But Kuzgawa looks a little uneasy, despite her unhappiness of disappearing. She breaks the silence. Kuzgawa takes something from her pocket.
ごめんなさい
Here it is. Here she is, finally smiling, and she starts tearing up
破
again.
いちゃった先輩との思い出破いちゃった
この写真まだ持ってたんだ。
It's the two parts of the torn
前の
picture.
生徒会が発足した時記念だっつって無理やり撮ったやつ。
うん
でも二人突っ立ってるだけで芸がないって不意打ちで指絡ましてやって。本当は抱きついてやろうと思ったんだけどあんまり怯えるもんだから。
そうだったんですか
だって可愛かったもん。
Kuzagawa has a clouded expression, a mixture of embarrassment and sadness. The other Kuzagawa, the senpai we know, wasn't in that photo.
ともかく破ったのはしょうがない。私のあげよっか。データ残ってるし。
うんだけどいいの
May
この写真
I
に
raise
替えはないか
an
ら
idea for the two of them? Get matching pendants? And just have Marian take the side with Sasara's picture, and Sasara take the side with Marian's picture.
そっか。
大事にします
He says and embraces the photo. It may well be the original, but it's a shame. Something different. I know!
タカリャン
Just a sec. Go on to the gate without me, please. I head to the classroom to look for Yuji.
なんだよ楠川先輩を慰めてしっぽりしてるんじゃなかった。そんなの俺に見せつけて自慢する気か恋愛ブルジョワめ。
That's not my thing! Anyways, you have a favor to ask.
頼み
タカリャン
Senpai, sorry for keeping you. I force a smile and take the skulking Yuji to the school
何
gate.
すんの校門で。
She asks me and I turn to Yuji. Then I put my hands together and plead. Yuji, I beg you, can you take a photo of the two of them?
写真
Yuji looks at Marian and Kuzagawa and
た
sighs.
くだったら初めからそう言えよな。俺がそんなに話のわかんねえ男と思ったのかよ。
Yes? Yuji.
じゃあお姉様方並んでください。
Yuji says and prepares his camera. Marian drags Kuzagawa into the frame.
ほらさあにゃそんな端っこにいたら心霊写真みたいじゃない。
でも
あれ私の言うこと何でも聞いてくれるんじゃなかったの。
それは先輩が
先輩が
Marian teases her and Kuzagawa blushes. She threw a tantrum like a child, saying she'd do anything to stop Marian's graduation, and thinking clearly now, she's rather embarrassed by it.
先輩なんか大嫌いです
Her voice trails off as she tries to act brave, but Marian just attacks her more.
でもいいのだ。サーリャンの気持ちと関係なくサーリャンのこと一方的に大好きなのだ。
先輩
Kasugawa blushes so fiercely at Marian's bear hug that it looks like her cheeks are bleeding. Then...
ほらタカリャンも
Huh? That! But me? Marian! She drags me into the frame and hugs both of us. This is actually a really nice CG. Holy shit, I like it. There it is! Fucking awesome, man! Then she forcibly brings Kasugawa close to me.
河野さん、やだ。そこは。
What? It's not me, it's Marian!
そう言いつつタカリャンのあそこは私のお尻にあったりするのだ。さてはツルペタが好きか？
It's not like
じゃ
that!
あやっぱり巨乳か？サーリャンの胸なのか？
Who knows where Marian senpai touched Kasugawa to make her let out such an erotic shriek. I'm getting dizzy. Senpai!
そうやっぱりお前だけいい目に俺も混ぜろ
The pain and unease of those events has already gone long ago. We can't get back lost times, but new friends, new memories, a new time beckons. And the new time beckons. A new time. First year ends today. Second year starts in April. Reminds me, Konami will be joining our school. I have to tell her not to just hang around me at school. Someone like her should be able to make lots of friends. Spring break without homework is the best. God, my feet hurt. 25th.
速達書き留めです。
Ah, yes. I'm wiped out by the hurricane. That was the closing ceremony. Not a good time for more surprises. Thanks. What's this? I just registered some mail, but special delivery. The envelope's padded, and from the feel of it, there seems to be a container. Is this for my folks? Check the sender. Sender is Mr. X, so my dad. So, who is this? Bad throbs as I mull this through. Suspicious, way too suspicious. Not only is the sender unknown, but called Mr. X of all names. I've good mind to throw this package as far away as I can, yes. I don't know what it is if I throw it out. I grab a pair of scissors and tear it open. Then, something falls out from inside. Inside the case, this must be cassette tape, I suppose. Seeing this brings back memories. It's an analog cassette tape. What's more, a Type 4 metal tape. Never expected to see this in Japan in the Japan of the day. Can't tell if I'm more stunned or surprised. It's untitled, but no doubt contains a message. The message is likely as important as the metal tape is rare. I did listen. However, there is this caveat. Do we even have a cassette deck? Only one that can play metal tapes? Though a cassette deck could grind through it even if it's incompatible. Too hard. I throw the tape into the trash. 1 hour passes. Yes. Ringing erupts from the phone. Having given up Mr. X's mysterious tape and indulging in various luxuries instead, I'm forced to rise. A little pissed off, I head to the living room where my tormentor is lurking. Who has enough spare time to ruin my spare time? Phone rings in such a bright daylight, it's obnoxious. I yanked up the receiver and answer. Yes, hello? Make out a sucking noise. Being sucked in by a phone receiver hole. Pushed my ear up against the receiver and a voice blasts to my right ear and straight through my brain. Ow. Ah!
ちょっといつまで家でゴロゴロしてるのよタカリャンニャンは
Ah, the voice in my head reverberates like a bell on a train. A bell on a train that's going round trip from my left ear to the right ear forever. This stupid obnoxious voice, it can't be. Maharian senpai, do you?
Yes, I do. My sweet heart, Marian senpai desu.
I'm going to choke you out. And not in the sexy kind of way.
Mwahaha! My sweet honey. タカリャンは元気にしとったか
I need to get a baseball bat.
こら受話器を下ろそうとするんじゃない
Busted. I inched the phone back to my ear. Shit, why is she so highly strung? She must be on the verge of a meltdown. If you're about to explode, please do so outside Japan's territorial waters. So, what's your business? Spring break started.
こんな春のうららかな日、タカリャンは何してたのかなもしかして昨日のマーリャンズラブリー写真を使ってたとか
As just pointed out, I was only lying around.
まったくいい年した若いもんがせっかく若いんだからちーっとくらい白い若さをほとばしらせても罰は当たらんぞ。
Is this girl remotely aware that she's the antithesis of her youthfulness?
で
So,
つかぬことを聞くのだが
huh?
カセットテープ届かなかった。
Cassette tape. The cassette tape she means. Ah, seriously? You sent
そう
that?
なるよ。私以外に誰がいんのよ。
That's true enough. But who but Marian would do something so
つう
bizarre?
ことはタカリャン私のハニーボイスを聞かなかったの。
So far, I haven't listened to it. I don't have a cassette deck or a radio. The receiver emits a disgusted sigh.
貧乏人め力作だったんだぞ。せっかくメタルテープ使ったのにラジカセもないなんてどうやって音楽聴いてるのか。歌は文化の極みなんだぞ。
Everything's downloadable or on CD these days.
ちブルジョアめカセットがないならダットで聴けばいいじゃんって口か。お前革命の時真っ先に弾頭台だぞ。一体誰が持ってんだよダット。 DVD オーディオと同じか。
As per usual, she's blabbing incoherently. Still, I fetched a cassette tape from the garbage, fiddled around with it. Still, not a bad effort, and getting a metal tape.
パパーンがカセット絶滅する直前の特売で買い込みすぎて死蔵して腐りかけてたの。パチった。
Your father doesn't use cassettes either.
でもメカに弱いから CD をパソコンでエンコードできないんだよ。はずいやつめ。
I've no doubt that compared to Marian, her papa lives a much purer, unembarrassing existence.
しかし今時カセットデッキを持ってないやつがいたとは私もうかつだったぞ。仕方がない。恥ずかしいがここで吹き込んだセリフを再現してやろう。一字一句。
Then Marian clears her throat cutely and reads out the message.
おはよう高明くん。元気にダミをむさぼっておったか。さて今回の君の使命だが駅前に行きある人物と接触してほしい。例によって君が捕らえられても当局は一切感知しないからそのつもりで。なおこのテープは自動的に消滅する。成功を祈る。ドカーンてなもんだ。
That was a bit.
どうして私のキャラソン CD がないのか不思議でたまらない。社長呼べ途中で。
How is she embarrassed? How is she not embarrassed? I assume it's supposed to be. At least I know that what you wanted to tell me. So
実
now
はサーリャンにも同じの送った。
Huh?
あの子律儀だから30分以内で現地にやってくるぞ。だから今もずーっと駅前広場で立ちんぼなのだ。
Been kept waiting. Don't
い
tell
やーあ
me.
の子おバカさんだから来いと言ったらすぐ来るし待てと言ったらずーっと待ってるの。前に呼び出したのすっかり忘れて放置してたらあの子トイレに行く以外ずーっとそこに待ってたのよ。冬の寒い。
Marian! What the hell are you
お
doing?
まわりさんに先輩待ってるって言い張り続けちゃって警察から保護したって電話がかかってきた時ビビっちゃったよ。おまわりさんにいじめかっこ悪いと怒られる。ハチ公より偉いぞサーリャンは。ハチは実は焼き鳥目当ての意地汚いやつだからな。サーリャンを見習えばいいのに。サーリャン風邪はひくし人に非難がましいこと言わないからもう声を殺して泣くしあれは答えるよ。
Senpai! Amazing Kuzugawa to kill her. In fact, she was outright oppressed by her. And yet she's still bald, begging Marian not to go. That's so sad, Kuzugawa.
サーリャンってば今日も律儀にやってきちゃったのだ。タカリャンが私のラブボイス無視しちゃったからもう1時間経ちっぱなしかな。へへ。
Hey, I gotta hurry! Toss the receiver onto the ground and sprint upstairs for a change of clothes. Shit, I'm gonna make Kuzugawa cry again. Spin around and double back and slowly pick up the receiver. Say, Marian,
何かねタカリャン後輩。
how do you know that Senpai's there? Just one question. With that one question, I paralyzed Marian.
あ
Marian!
駅の向かいのビルに入ってるケーキの美味しいパーラーからただいま観察中。ここ今の時間食べ放題やってるのだ。おすすめだぞ。おっとあと30分でおしまいだ。ラストスパートせねば。
If I had enough time to eat cake, could you please rescue Kuzugawa?
マーリャンはケーキを食うのに忙しいから そっちはそっちで楽しくやってくれたまへ。バイビーン。
先輩! Senpai! Senpai! She ran away. I have no choice. It's awfully contrived, but I'm off on a mission to retrieve Kusagawa. I run at top speed, head first, heels pounding. Am I head over heels? It's all Marian's fault, so sue me. Concentrate on Kusagawa. According to Marian, she's waiting for her. She's watching her from a parlor opposite the station, so. Kusagawa! She's all dressed up, bearing the expression of stood-up persons everywhere. She looks morose. Awkwardly, unbelievably so. Awkward, unbelievably so. If I escape now, my countess might die, but it might be worth it. If I leave her like this.
ようよう彼女かわいいね。
でも私
ちゃこの甘
Jesus
俺と
Christ,
付き合えないってのかよ。
it's bright out. The shit ain't happening.
河野さん
Happening.
助けて
She's especially not asking him. Let's be honest. That might happen. Can't let it occur. I writhe in agony in the plaza corner. Frankly, I'm the shadiest person here. Kusagawa, once Marian passes away, I need to become someone she can depend on. Alright, you're a man. Be a man, Takaaki Kono. Let's go. Hey, Kusagawa.
河野さん
Were we waiting long? My voice cracks, but I speak as cheerily as possible. Senpai shakes her head.
うん
I'm
全然
touched based on what really happened.
嘘だ。1時間以上前にここ通った時もあの子いたよ。
ひどい彼氏だよね。
ほんとかわいい顔して女食い物にしてんだ。
死ねばいいのに。
Thanks to the passers-by for the drive-by attacks.
ごめんなさい私のせいで
No, please don't apologize. I frantically waved my hands. Now at least I was able to rescue Kusagawa as per Marian's mission. But now what? I don't know the orders for what to do from here on out. Just stand there sweating away. Kusagawa looks around.
マーリャン先輩は
Marian! I glance over the building in front of the station. The window, the second window there, floor, there's a familiar figure. It's Marian with a piled-up plate. She's stuffing enough cake into her mouth to ruin the business and seems to not care about what's going on here. In short, she's abandoned me as sacrifice. Said she had some minor business to attend to.
そう
I could see disappointment in her eyes. She must have thought that as friends she'd be able to hang out and talk to her. I consider Marian downright cruel when that crosses my mind. I look for something to compensate for Marian's absence. Nothing comes to mind. It's no good. I have nowhere to go with a girl. And I have no idea how things should unfold from here. Gotta think of it, I really don't know a thing about Senpai. What she likes, dislikes, her hobbies, favorite food, TV programs, favorite performance, nothing. What's difficult is that Senpai has her own complicated circumstances, so I can't ask anything careless. On the other hand, if I talk about myself, Senpai would probably suffer in silent boredom. There's nothing I have to say and no jokes to tell. Looks like she would have been better off with Marian. As I look at the parlor door, hoping Marian will come to the rescue. Kusagawa speaks.
河野さん
Yes!
もしよかったらでいいんだけど
Hmm? No, completely fucking off topic all of a sudden, but like, chokers like this still mystify me. How the fuck are they put on? Like, how? Anyways.
水族館に行かない
Aquarium?
その先輩からチケットをもらったから2枚
Senpai says haltingly and pulls out tickets from her front pocket.
河野さんも先輩に無理やり呼び出されたみたいだから無理にとは言わないけれど
She brushes her hair away with flushed fingers. As someone who's used to driving people away, it must be a momentous decision for her to invite someone to the aquarium. She waits silent. She brushes her hair over and over again, like she's waiting for a verdict to be handed down. You okay with me coming?
どうして
Weren't you supposed to go with Marian?
うん先輩に言われてたの河野さん私のために無理してくれたんだからちゃんとお礼言いなさいって
Marian said that? So that's why she brought us together. Marian forced her to invite me and take me along. Okay, if you're fine with me.
じゃあお願いできる
Yes. However, first he just walks into the cake shop, walks up to where she is sitting, hits her over the head, walks back out. Alright, I'm done. But the real trial starts from here. Senpai invited me, so I should pay the train fare and so on. If I don't, we'd need to go to separate ticket machines, so there's more efficiency for me to buy two at once, and so on and so forth. I worry about every little move she watches. Can't relax. How much distance should there be between us? We're not lovers, but there's something intimate about walking side by side. But if we're too far apart, we look like strangers. I can't sit there if there's only one spare seat. Should I offer it to her before I can decide? Someone else sits down. We end up standing all the way. Of course, we say nothing. She must be repulsed by how feeble I am, saying nothing all that time. She must be all full of regret for choosing to take me to the aquarium. I'm a little relieved to have made it to the aquarium. Sorry. If you watch fish on the aquarium's regular route, we'll avoid the awkward idleness. There's nothing awkward about watching Senpai's enthusiasm towards the tanks. I'd say that Marian made a much more effective choice than I could have ever made. Still, the things she's gazing at so brightly. Sea slugs. Looks like she'd stick there for the rest of her life if I left her. She looks so innocent peering into the sea slug tank. Her expression is no different to a primary schooler discovering fish for the first time. I stare at the back of Senpai, who seems to be in some kind of rapture. Sasara-Route, habitat, Japan. This is a delicate creature. No photos, please. Just like that. When she notices me staring, she steps back from the sea slug tank.
Kono-san? Yada!
Senpai blushes beet red and turns her attention to an empty wall. Senpai? Senpai says in a soft voice that sounds like she wants to run away.
Hen?
What's weird? What you mean? The sea slugs? So it seems. It's a little childish or pressed up against the aquarium, but I think it's cute. Stutter out and Senpai inquires.
Honto?
Yeah. Or not? Yes, really.
Honto ni honto?
I feel like she thinks, I feel like she misunderstands that she thinks he means slugs when he's talking about her. Yes, really. I catch a glimpse of her eyes, but then she looks away.
Kawaii desho, umiushi.
No, I was talking about you. I want to say, but missed my opportunity. She asks me just like a child. There seems to be something about sea slugs that brings down her mental age. But it's still something. Take the bait. Senpai, you like animals, don't you?
好きよ。大好き。
Which ones do you like? I was expecting her to say penguins, dolphin, or whale sharks. What comes next is, giant crabs?
クラゲ。
What is it with girls with that hair color and really liking jellyfish? I love jellyfish. I don't know what to put in Chinese. The ones you put in Chinese cooking. Those jellyfish, right?
ふわふわっとして可愛いの。
She bubbles.
水クラゲとか赤クラゲとかオキクラゲとか天草クラゲとか海藻に生えているクラゲもいるの。
The long quiet is broken, because Gawa decides now is the time to speak up. Words carry a heart on her soul. Sometimes her voice chokes up, as though she really wanted to be asked.
逆さクラゲ好き。本当に上下逆さまでおかしいの。あとタコクラゲとか紫クラゲとか宇宙人みたいだし、越前クラゲは食べられるのよ。でも一番好きなのは花クラゲの仲間。みんなお花みたいで綺麗なの。その中でもね、中に赤いのが入ってる花あかりクラゲが好き。他にも淡水クラゲやナンクラゲもガラス細工みたいで素敵だし、でもね、カツオのエボシも悪くないのよ。
But I feel like I remember seeing the Portuguese man of war at one point, but let's make sure. Oh yeah, that is a big fucker. Give me like a size comparison. That is a big fucker, yes.
でも言うとみんな変な顔するし、だけどウリクラゲやカブトクラゲはクラゲの仲間じゃないんだって。かわいそうよね。
I wonder what's so mournful about the melon and helmet jellyfish. I don't know why, but it seems like but it seems so. But it seems like senpai. But it seems like to senpai that it's a monumental shame if they're excluded from the jellyfish family. But you can't keep jellyfish at home.
そんなことないわ。最近は専用水産も売ってるもの。
Is that so?
本当はね、花あかりクラゲが飼いたかったんだけど捕まらなくって、赤クラゲもいいかなって思ったけど、あれ大きくなっちゃうから触手が70センチにもなるのよ。だから今はタコクラゲ。スタンダードだけど可愛いし。でも母はまた変なの飼ってるって苦笑いして。
She looks at me and the words stop. What's wrong? The next voice she speaks in is completely different.
ごめんなさい。
Huh? What for? What does she have to apologize for, ask her? She only says...
私一人喋って、それもクラゲのことばかり。
But, she says
クラ
tearily...
ゲ可愛くないわよね。
Wait, that's not true! She shakes her head.
いいの、無理しないで。河野さん、母と同じ顔してる。
Eh?
どう答えていいのかわからないって顔。母と同じ。
Nothing more was said after that. I take her to the jellyfish tank, but she doesn't look. But she seems so happy. She knows I don't dislike that side of her. So why won't she share her enjoyment? We ended up just walking around the rest of the path. Why on earth did we come here? Look over to see her expression, huh? Where is she? Senpai! Such a fool, I could have lost her! I was so too absent-minded. No other option to exit and wait. It's no maze, so she can't get lost. If I wait here, sooner or later I'll see her, I hope. Hope she's alright. My eyes keep flickering towards the exit. Then, there's no mistaking her voice. I look up. Check my watch. It's only been 10 minutes. When she realized we got separated, she must have headed to the exit after wandering around. She treads over to me.
ごめんなさい。河野さんが先に行ってしまってたの気づかなくて。
No, but I'm the one who should apologize. I was so lost in thought that I didn't watch out for her. Shall we go to this from the start again? I must have the courage to say those words. However, my courage is squashed, because Senpai speaks first.
帰りましょうか。
I no longer have the willpower to turn her words around. Filled with regret on the long train ride home. I definitely hurt her. It's at times like this that I'm jealous of Yuji. He always knows what to say to a girl to patch things up, but I have no such ability. Jellyfish really are marvelous creatures, aren't they? I knew those words would cheer up, but my heart feels empty. I ended up getting off the train without a word.
ごめんなさい。今日は付き合わせて。
It wasn't any fun at all? That's the question behind her apology. It's not about if I had fun or not. It's just that I have a lingering sense of regret. It's not like that. Can't dredge up any
河野
confidence.
さん、
Yes?
新学期にまた会いましょう。
Yes? And that's how we part. Massive failure. She said we'd meet again next term, but I prefer the world ending tomorrow to the next term that came. 26. Suddenly I'm enveloped in winter vacation. What? No, is it spring? Doesn't matter, my life ended yesterday. My life's now playing out the throwaway match. It's not for second, it's for last after a series of 20 games. I'm declaring defeat. I've been unable to recover from yesterday's mistakes. After scaling an entire mountain, to think that an avalanche could occur so easily. If only I love jellyfish too. I can't imagine them as food, but I can only imagine them as food. I can barely discern the texture of jellyfish when eating it. Could those hors d'oeuvres they bring out in Chinese cuisine really be jellyfish? I'm unsure if they're not just mushrooms. I had a big yawn. I want to crawl back into my shell. Who the hell is it now? Persistent. I cocoon myself in my futon to block out the world. I can hear the door open and the sound of someone climbing the staircase. Don't tell me.
もう
タカ君まだ寝てる。
Hold on. I haven't confirmed it's going to be from the futon. I wrap it tighter around my
お
head.
休みだからっていつまでも寝てたら目が腐っちゃうよ。
Let them rot. I'm a registered organ donor, so I figure the world's better off if I save my eyes for someone else to use them. Complete hermit. Konami sticks her head into the futon, worried.
具合でも悪いの？なんか元気ないよ。
No, nothing like that.
もしかして朝ごはんも食べてないの？
Not just breakfast. I haven't eaten since last night.
タカ君、それ死んじゃうよ。
Dying's fine by me. Actually, that'd be a mercy.
どうかしたの？タカ君、何かあったの？
Konami shakes me vigorously.
ね
I'm push her away. I'm sure that she won't leave until I tell her to. Giving up already, I speak. I heard someone yesterday.
え、ある人？
Yeah, I seen her from school. Even though I was interested, I failed to convey it properly. That's why I'd be better off dead.
タカ君、そんな簡単に死んじゃうとか言っちゃダメだよ。
But a protest, she interjects.
その人、怖い人なの？
Eh?
タカ君の言うことなんか聞いてくれない人？
No way, she's kind, very kind. She misunderstands sometimes, but she's really very sweet. Konami says kindly.
じゃあ大丈夫だよ。
Konami,
タカ君が考えてる通りの人なら、タカ君がちゃんと謝ればきっと許してくれるよ。だから起きて。それで電話してみよう。時間が経てば経つほど気まずくなるよ、きっと。タカ君。
yeah. I finally crawl out of the futon. Thanks, Konami. It's just that Konami said if I think I've done wrong, I should apologize. She may not forgive me, but it's still my obligation. Seeing Konami off, I face the phone. Take a deep breath, because Gawa's phone number. No one's answering. Is she out? I still wait. Ring, ring. Phone must have rung a lot of times now. I wonder whether it's hopeless. Then...
もしもし、クスガワですけど。
It's Senpai, she's here! I must talk to
そ
Senpai!
の声、河野さん？
It's no doing, it's no good. My head's spinning around. What was I
河
going to say?
野さん？河野さん？
Stupid piece of your brain! I bashed my head against the wall. Work!
何？今の音。河野さん。ねえ。
She seems to have heard the collision. Her voice borders on a scream. My head is killing me, but somehow everything's become clearer. Senpai! I apologize. I'm sorry! Nothing comes from the receiver. What did you make of it? Senpai, despite being invited to the aquarium, all it did was ruin your fun. I should have apologized, but it didn't say anything. That's why... I'm sorry? I leave 4 words unsaid. Can you forgive me? Senpai remains silent. She must be stunned that I'm apologizing this late. I wait. I brace myself to listen to whatever she has to say. But in the end, what she says is...
ダメよ、河野さん。謝らないで。
Senpai?
私こそ自分の都合ばかりであなたのこと少しも考えられなくて
No
ごめん
way.
なさい。私の方こそ昨日は家に帰ってからずっと苦しかった河野さんにきっとおかしな子だって思われたから。
I absolutely did not think that. On the contrary, I thought I was fortunate to see your childish side.
やだ、そんな。
I thought I was the one not considering your emotions, that you despised me.
そんなことない。私なんかのためにいろいろ付き合ってくれて申し訳ないなってずっと。
So...
バカみたいね、私たち。
Yeah.
自分で勝手に相手が怒ってるって考えてそんなことなかったのに。
I wish we'd cleared this up quicker. Been worried so much that I haven't eaten since last night.
河野さんも？
Too. You too!
ええ。
Wonder if you've been lying in bed up until now.
じゃあ河野さんも？
Yeah, I couldn't get up.
私も布団かぶって新学期になっても河野さんに合わせる顔ないって
I was doing the
同
same.
じだったのね。
Both of us break into laughter. Senpai?
何？
Steady myself and ask, let's do dinner?
Eh?
Well, neither of us has eaten, so let's go somewhere together to eat. I'm buying.
でも
Hesitation seeps in, but I can't let this be the conclusion. At the very least, I want to do today what I didn't do yesterday. I want to eat out with you. I implore through the telephone. Then Senpai
いいの？
asks,
私となんかで
is there anyone else? I want to chat with you. If you don't eat with me, I'll go all hermit again. Senpai giggles.
じゃあお言葉に甘えて
Imagine if instead of saying, like, is there anyone else, he just went like, well, I'm not asking your mother right now. That'd be weird. However, I'm sure she's a very lovely woman. And so we found ourselves meeting once more in front of the station. Like last time, we're walking about without hesitation, strolling quite briskly. Even though I have plenty of time, I make a beeline straight for the station. I wait a few minutes.
河野さんもう来てたの？
Well, I couldn't wait. So panting a grin.
今日はお休みだから時間はたくさんあったのに
But I wanted every minute and second possible to talk to you.
河野さん
She seems a little impressed. Without wasting more time, I ask her. So, where should we go? In the end, the place you chose.
何？
You really want to go here?
どうして？
Why not, she says. This is McDonald's. It's a fast food chain. Its redeeming features are cheap hamburgers and salty fries, cheap hamburger buns that are dried out and whose taste is drowned out by pickles. There's quite a different picture of Kuzgawa's cafe lunch appearance. I've brought my savings, so there's no trouble if there's somewhere else in the neighborhood if you'd like to do lunch.
ダメよそんなことしたらかえって気を使っちゃうわ早く並びましょうお昼時だから混んでるわ
So Senpai and I order from McDonald's set menus. Senpai orders a fish burger, fries, and oolong tea, while I order teriyaki, fries, and cola. Senpai has surprisingly common
どうか
taste.
した？それとも河野さんもフィッシュバーガーの方が良かった？
Ah, no, not that. It's just that, Senpai, do you eat here often?
意外？
I thought you'd be more into something. You thought you'd be into something more refined.
高級志向？
Well, something like that. She lets out a sarcastic laugh and says,
母がそうなの私も母によく付き合ってるけど
"Your mother."
このお洋服も本当は母の趣味私はただ着てるだけ母は美大卒だったせいかわからないけど私が地味な格好するのが許せないみたい
Oh boy, she's a fucking art student. At least she was accepted. Why did I have to go for that joke immediately? So,
私はちょっと恥ずかしいのこの格好可愛らしすぎて
she cowers slightly as her face turns red. Her mother dresses her up as a princess while she likes jellyfish and sea slugs, eats often at McDonald's, and is uncomfortable with being cute. She's full of mysteries. She's in a way much cuter than jellyfish and sea slug. Do all girls have such complicated circumstances? We eat jellyfish too. Did I say that out loud? She says awkwardly.
食べちゃダメだった
So she does eat them. What else?
ナマコも好きよコリコリして美味しいの
Sea cucumbers. Seems she likes all things related to sea slugs. Do you think cucumbers are cute too?
おかしい
Nah, it's not weird. But for her to think something both cute and tasty is an interesting perspective. Well, I raised the point. You probably think that rabbits are cute. You love them so you eat them. Love's complicated.
パパが
Papa?
父が学生時代は自転車で日本一周するような人だったのそのせいかそういう名産品とかが好きでええあとホヤとか
You eat them?
お菓子
Nah, I don't think there's anything wrong with being familiar with Japan's traditional cuisine.
私からしたらそのコーラの方が苦手
She says and gestures the paper cup of cola on my tray. Cola.
だって骨が溶けちゃうのよ。怖いじゃない。
Senpai?
違った。
Well, it's an urban legend. It won't.
でも母が
It would seem that her mother is influenced. It would seem that's her mother's influence too, I wonder. Your mother was lying to prevent you drinking low-class drinks.
そうな
I mean,
の
there's also the fact that it's just a really sugary drink, so it is genuinely bad for your teeth. It won't fucking dissolve them, though. It'll just cause fucking caries. I'm just guessing, of course. Senpai stares at my cola. Have you never drunk cola?
記憶してる限りじゃ。
Want to try it? I haven't touched it yet.
でも
She looks at the cola a little nervously. Well, it is cola that dissolves your teeth after all. But I'll swap you. Swap my cola for the oolong tea on Senpai's tray. On Senpai's tray is the dreaded cola. I watch Senpai's reactions, but it seems curiosity hasn't won her over just yet.
じゃあ
Senpai takes a deep breath, puts the straw in her mouth, and takes a little sip. What do you think? Look at her face and see her frown.
なんだかお薬みたいな味なのに甘ったるい。やっぱ
Senpai
り苦
returns
手。
to her original oolong tea. Well, I guess that could happen to someone who's not used to the taste.
コーラが飲めるなんて河野さんのことなんだか尊敬するわ。
Ah, no, that's not worth being respected for. Smiles bitterly and sips from the cola straw. Huh. Straw's a little moist. When I finally realize steam comes out of my ears.
河野さん大丈夫？
Senpai leans forward in a panic and thrusts out a handkerchief. Oh, fine. Another indirect kiss. Am I some kind of indirect kiss magnet?
もしかして
Senpai looks at cola and her face stiffens.
ごめんなさい。ストローの効果コーラを買い直してくるわ。
Don't worry, your mouth isn't dirty.
でも
It's just that I'm uncomfortable around girls. When I say uncomfortable, it's not that I dislike him. It's just that I'm extremely nervous and self-conscious. I desperately try to explain. Apart from my childhood friend, I've had almost no direct contact with girls, so this sort of thing puts me into a panic. I try to conceal my embarrassment with a sheepish grin. My friends say any more negative interaction, and I may as well be immunized against girls altogether.
でもじゃあ
Senpai stares in wonder and says,
女の子が苦手なのに私のこと助けてくれたの。
well...
ごめんなさい。私そんなこと全然気づかなくてずいぶん冷たいこと
Not at
を
all. I was just overly aware. I'm just overly aware. Look, I jerked down all the cola. What the fuck?
河野さん
Senpai is surprised at my absurd display and raises her voice. No, I just joked because I drank it all in one go. Here.
もう脅かさないで。でもありがとう。私なんかのために無理してくれて。
Senpai says solemnly, eyes downcast.
私も頑張るわ。あなたのしてくれたこと無にしないために。
Our conversations sometimes faltered, sometimes strayed. We talked about familiar things close to us, then moved on to endlessly to other gossip. It's not like it went smoothly from the start. There's no guide for conversation, so there's nothing else to do but test paths by trial and error. If we make a mistake, we're not going to be hurt, so we'll sort it out somehow. We ordered another round of juice and tea, nestled in the corner of McDonald's. We realized the sun had gone down and leave the store. Senpai's waiting at a crosswalk, a red light overhead. There isn't even a single car passing by. She's a person that's always courteous and follows the rules to the letter. This motherfucker jaywalks! Put him on the tier list. You know, should I at some point, just for the fuck of it, do like a meme of fucking like Fable did the which Kirby character jaywalks. Should I just do like which VN main character jaywalks? Let's be honest, the majority of them probably do. Senpai?
何？
Like, MCs that I can think of right now that don't that wouldn't jaywalk. pushy, no? Because the man tries to jaywalk, everyone immediately gives him a stink eye for jaywalking. He just turns around and walks back and never fucking does it again. Because, ouch. Haku absolutely jaywalks. Like, Haku literally just like... Haku sees from afar that the fucking signal is red, and just jaywalks right there instead of even walking over to the fucking to the fucking crossing. Actually, no. Haku tries to jaywalk, but is immediately pulled back by Kwon because, let's be honest, she is not letting him out the house alone. That's a risk. What is it? Whoops, that's her. I stare at her face. Well, I'm not about to ask something that's special, but I'm nervous. I steady myself and ask her. Spring break. How are you going to spend it? After a long wait, the light turns green, but Senpai does not start
Watashi
crossing.
wa tabun gakko.
School. Stare at the unexpected answer. My gaze embarrasses her and she looks down, answering.
いろいろしなきゃいけないことがあるの。仕事もあるし。
Work. That might work out well for me. Work gives me an excuse. I say without looking at Senpai. If you have work, can I help you?
河野さん、
I still want to be in the student council with you. Even though that's all I say, I go all red. I wonder what her expression is. I'm still too scared to look. Senpai's answer.
10時に。
え？
朝の10時に。待ってる。
She takes off across the road, signals flashing red. I'm dumbfounded. Soon strikes me. That was... Yes! At 10 o'clock! I turn to Senpai and wave. She nods a little. Then Senpai leaves. I stand there by the signal, watching her figure recede into the distance. 27. But yeah, we're officially on her route. Like, completely, like, just buried in there. Why is there a grave? Oh no. Oh no. Good morning.
おはよう、河野さん。
Going to school despite spring break is admirable. Though if Yuji was here, he'd say I need to go to the hospital. But for me, it's a perfectly everyday yet absolutely necessary matter. Why? Because I get to count the activities with Senpai again.
河野さん、どうかしたの？手なんか握りしめて。
Nothing. I'm putting too much effort into it. There's nothing to worry about, so relax. Just relax. Turn so that she can't see me and steady my breathing. It's just tough working on spring break. Do you have that much work to do?
ええ。
She smiles, somewhat troubled.
仕事が溜まって、3学期中にこなしきれなかったの。
Was it due to that commotion back then? Does it work? She does her work methodically and seems she would have finished it all by the graduation ceremony. But if she did finish, that would make this after-sales service. So what should I do today?
と、
She looks around the room for something and says to me as cheerfully as possible.
新学期を前に部屋を片付けましょうか。
Senpai and I gather misprints, extra printouts, and other rubbish and rearrange out-of-place furniture. As might be expected, it's tidied up easily under Senpai's direction. Next is... Look around the room, then I spy something in the corner behind Senpai. It's a locker. But it's not one of this room's storage areas, it's for Senpai's special use. What's inside that locker? Reach out to the locker, but Senpai stands in front of the locker as if she's trying to hide it. But the locker is rather large, so it's not like she really can. Senpai?
この中はいろいろごちゃごちゃしてるから。
She says with a flustered expression. Then all the more reason we have to sort it out. Reach out to it again, but she shakes her head and won't move out of the way.
今日はここまでにしましょう。
But
しましょう。
I can't say another word to such a strong assertion. But it's clearly suspicious. What's in that locker? Can't reach out to it, but she clearly doesn't want me to. Come on me. I reluctantly withdraw and prepare to go home, but Senpai doesn't move from in front of the locker. Does she think I'm gonna make a surprise attack? You're not going home?
ええ、まだ仕事があって。
She seems even more troubled. Then I'll help. I'll pass. He still doesn't trust me? I'll go on ahead, so try not to stay too late, okay?
そうね。そうするわ。
She sees me off, guarding the locker the entire time. Suspicious. Clearly suspicious. Wonder if the reason she came to school on spring break wasn't related to that locker somehow. 28. It's a window now. Like a grave right outside the window? That's fucking morbid. Do it again. Good morning. I'm at the student council room door. I cheerfully push it open when... Ah! I'm taken aback at the explanation, pull my hand away. What on earth is it? I retreat and stand dumbfounded in front of the door. It was almost like the door shouted, but it was obviously Kusagawa, as her soul transferred into the door. Thinking about it logically, something must have happened inside, I wonder. Looking carefully at the door, I crack it open. I'm curious, it's almost like it's asking me to peek. I gulp, take a step closer. Don't! What you're about to do is perverted! But it's possible that Kusagawa's being attacked by a bear. No. Don't, he said. But don't what? I don't know. I'm worried about that don't, as her life might be in danger. Stand there thinking hard, what should I do? Take a glance at the door. Ah! That moment an eye blinks through the crack. I falter at the apparition, but looking carefully I recognize that AI. Senpai, is that you? Senpai doesn't answer that question, but her eyes shows me what I need to
ごめん
know.
なさい。今散らかっているの。ちょっと待っていてくれる？
Okay.
本当にごめんなさい。
She slams the door shut. I edge close to the door and hear some commotion from within. Sounds like things are being put in and taken out of a locker. After waiting a few more minutes, the noise stops and the door finally swings open.
お待たせ。
It's Kusagawa. She smiles, however her breathing is disarrayed. Furthermore, there's sweat on her brow. Clear signs of a panic. Senpai?
何？
Were you doing aerobics? You're out of breath? She doesn't seem to notice her breathlessness. She reaches out to her brow and remembers to wipe the sweat off.
そうかもね。
She smiles back awkwardly. Senpai's smile is always awkward, but today is particularly unnatural. He's hiding something from me. He tends to sorting the documents as per always. My job is to shred the unnecessary documents from the third term, but I can't get enthusiastic when the work is so monotonous. Curious about what she's hiding from me. What on earth could it be? It's pretty clear from her behavior it's a secret. While she's relaxed somewhat, I can understand her not opening up completely. But it's a worry. Why in the student council room? Kusagawa's a house, so if it's something private, she should have it there? Hang on. It's something she can't have at home? Is this something unthinkable? Is she making explosive? Smuggling narcotics? Hacking school PCs? Or cosplay? One of these is not like the others. One of my classmates used to fucking hack the school PCs all the fucking time. God! No! Because God wasn't that dubious a person. Except she does have an air of a cosplayer about her. Anyways, while it's spring break, there are virtually no students, so if she were to sneak around during term, it will start another rumor. See a look at her expression. Here he goes. It decides out at that moment. The sun is setting and it's time to go home. Give a contrived look at my watch. Look at the time!
そうね。
He says, fidgets, and confirms the time. She looks the same as last time. Shall we go home then?
でも、
There's an unclear response. I don't miss her glance at the locker. There must be some secret buried in that locker. Senpai has complete control over the lockers in this room, so it's a perfect hiding place. Though her behavior the other day was screaming, check this out, so much there's no way to hide that a secret exists. Hold on. Itchy. You have some left to do?
そうね。用事なのかも。
Oh, she's worried about me. Seems she wants me to hurry up and go. I'm a little hurt at her coldness, but I let her go and withdraw. Well, I'm sorry for being in the way, if you'll excuse me. Problem?
そんなことないわ。そうね。
She did not like that
ご苦労様。
phrasing. She squeezed out the words with a painful look. I say goodbye, shoulder my bag, and head out the room. Head down the stairs and out the school building. Look back to school and witness Senpai gazing out the window at the student council room. Seems to be observing my actions. I wave in an exaggerated fashion and she hastily waves back. This too is clearly suspicious. Clearly she wants to make sure I leave the school for some reason. I look back and she waves every time. That was all part of my plan. I leave the school gate and head some way down the hill. Once I've gone down the hill enough to be out of sight, I creep back up the hill, but I skip the front gate and head towards the side one. Having entered the side gate confirming she's no longer by the window, I fling off my shoes and tiptoe up the stairs. Slipperless, I slide around the corner and break in front of the student council room. I gently reach out the door and then fling it open. I have something else to do! Senpai screams reverberate, but it's not like she's lying down naked, turning into a witch. She's the same as always. It's just that she's dropping something in her hands. Ah! I frantically reach out and grab it. However, squish. Some kind of unpleasant situation. A sensation, a sticky sensation, not warm or cold, but a strangely unpleasant lukewarm. Incidentally, it's a flashy green. Is this? Frog! I'm starting to toss the green object. Kuzugawa reaches out to catch it.
河野さん。
ゲコ。
Had found a place to rest on Senpai. Seems to like the top of her head more than before and won't come down. Around the room there are numerous tanks with black lumpy things wrapped in gelatine. I sigh. In other words, this is Kuzugawa's doing. You were incubating frogs' eggs?
ごめんなさい。
She hangs her head and she says tearily. Having heard she loves jellyfish and sea slugs, I'm not surprised now. It's not a typical pet girls keep. Frog. I can understand you like these. But shouldn't you be raising it at home? You know? At home?
でも、母が、
Your mother.
母はカエルとか嫌いだから。
I see. So thanks to her monopoly on the student council room, she could hide a tank to raise them in the locker.
ちゃんと、育ったら池に放すつもりだったのよ。
Well, that's not the problem. This frog's already grown up. It must have grown up a while ago.
それは
She hesitates to explain.
可愛かったから。
Senpai's taste really is strange. But leaving it aside, Senpai's taste might be strange to the rest of the world, but she herself worries about, She reprimands herself.
ごめんなさい。カエル、可愛くなかったよね。
Look, the issue isn't whether they're cute or good.
話してくるから。
Jesus, girl, just a frog can make her look like it's the end of the world. I retrieve the frog from her head and crouch down. Look her in the
河
eye.
野さん。
Pet the frog's head and say, You can keep it a while longer.
でも、
But I might have difficulty saying it's okay to keep pets at school if you ask. Let her sigh and say it with a smile. Why not? It's spring break after all. I wouldn't mind seeing tadpoles.
河野さん、
Kuzugawa blushes slightly and shows me a bashful
あ
smile.
りがとう。
She takes the frog a hand to her and caresses it lovingly. Previously, she repaired the swallow's nest, and while frog and jellyfish do stand out, it must just be that she loves little animals. Understand that now? She sees them as pets. While I stare, she looks up, taken aback. What is it?
河野さん、一つお願いしていい？
She pauses a moment, looks up at me and says,
生徒会の予算でカエル池作りたいの。
I laugh. No. I like to imagine he just asks, he's like, no.
意地悪。 きる？始業式の後に配るから人数分少し多めに。
Whoops, enough for the new students too?
そうね、お願いできる？
Kuzugawa says and smiles. It's a little forced. So she's looking at me and smiling her best. Her problem with that kind of bottomless smile for Marian, but for Senpai, the smile is more than enough to be pleasing. I mean, in third term, she spent a lot of her time not smiling, and when she did, she'd barely smile and was somehow painful or lonely. This is a huge improvement. It's as big a difference as a sprout blooming into a full cherry blossom.
どうかしたの？河野さん。
Ah, nothing. I guess it looked a little vacant. Kuzugawa looks slightly concerned. It's nothing, really. I force a smile, fluster, and wave my hand to say it's okay.
おかしな河野さん。
He smiles slightly again. Her caring smile reveals her relief at my response. In comparison to her dark downward expression, her kindness shining through the smile makes her all the cuter. Looking at her anew, her face is a pretty pure porcelain white with her blushing and full lips standing out. I find myself touching my lips, the lips she touched with her fingers. Would it feel nice touching her lips?
さん、
What am I thinking? Of course I can't
河
touch
野
them.
さん。
Ah, why are there so many mustn't touch switches on girls? I'm so aggravated. I'm this close to losing out to temptation.
河野さん。
Ah! Ah! I'm so startled at Kusugawa's face being so near that I plunk backwards into the chair behind me.
大丈夫？
I guess.
本当に？
Yes, really. I stand up straight and jump up and down. See? Ow, 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 ow. My back.
全然大丈夫じゃないじゃない。
Sorry.
どこか打ったの？背中を出して。湿布があると思うから貼ってあげる。
She tugs the first aid kit off the shelf. But it's not so bad that you need to trouble yourself. But she shakes her head. She smiles and says bashfully.
私があなたにしてあげたいの。いつも頑張ってる河野さんへのお礼。じゃダメ？
It's not Ow.
ほら、無理しないで。背中を向けて。
Okay. Wait, didn't I say I was gonna end it after the fucking graduation ceremony at the start of the part? Herder! God, I'm a fucking moron. I pull my shirt up and show her my back. It's not like I'm naked, but I feel a little embarrassed. It's a strange feeling. Senpai's hand traces my
Koko?
back. Ah, yes! Senpai rummages around the first aid kit. She must be pulling out the hot pack. It's taking a while and my nerves are tingling. I can imagine her fine motions without looking. Furthermore, she's still looking at my naked back and my heart starts pounding. It was a cool sensation to stand in my
ごめ
back.
んなさい。痛いところを触った？
No, no, no.
痛かったらちゃんと言ってね。
I hold the hot pack on me. Her hands presses against me. My face is getting hot. It must be all red. Thank goodness you can't see
こ
it.
れでいいわ。河野さん？河野さん？
Ah! Thanks. How long will she look at my? How long will she be looking at my back? All flustered, I undo my belt, tuck my shirt back into my pants. She looks at me agape. Her face is red. Are you trying to take her pants off here? Sorry, I'll do this in the bathroom. I burst out of the room in a panic. Ah, what was I doing? What's with me today? I took off, all messed up despite her smiling face. Am I self-destructing completely? I'm such a fool. You're such a fool. Didn't you say Senpai is surely a kind person? Don't you trust her? You're the same as a frog. Isn't she kind because it's you? Sorry for disturbance. I sorted out my personal appearance at the nearby toilet and returned to the student council room.
いいの。河野さんこそなんだか疲れてるみたいだし。
She says and smiles, however, it's somehow different to before. A little sadly like her smile from before. Why that face, I want to ask, but due to a moment's hesitation, she speaks
早い
before
け
me.
れど、今日はここまでにしましょう。
But my work.
それは
Senpai looks at the desk. The printers she requested are all done and separated by class. while I was flapping around. She did it all. Sorry. Pathetic. Totally heartbroken. Why am I here again? It's not like I just came here to see your face. Slowly grab my bag and go to leave.
Matte.
And timidly turn around. Then I see her grab her
河野
bag.
さん、
Yes?
一緒に帰りましょうか
Eh? Senpai smiles.
Dane.
Smiles shyly.
かしら。
I walk awkwardly. I'm sweating profusely. If I'm not mistaken, today is the first time that we're walking home together. I'm always leaving first, leaving Senpai to sort out the final details. Am I supposed to walk ahead of time like this? Should the man lead? No, briskly walking ahead of a woman is discourteous. So should ladies first apply, or did I go behind? She is my Senpai after all, and it was that way with the food. Is that the baseline? I invited her to lead, planning to follow. But as we're about to leave the school, she stops and turns to face
河
me.
野さん、
Yes?
私と帰るの嫌なの
A sad face, sad eyes from a sad face stare at me. She expects a response of the of course not type of answer. Of course not.
じゃ
She backtracks and comes to my
行きましょう
side.
河野さん、
Side by side with Senpai, she looks down slightly and her cheeks are flushed. But her voice is somehow distant and hesitant and pained. There's 30 centimeters between us. I'm not sure if it's near or far, but that's the distance he chose, no more, no less. She takes one step, attaining the 30 centimeters. I take my first step with her. I sense nothing but her face's profile, and her breathing, her pale translucent skin, and each and every string of her hair blowing in the wind too, and every degree of the heat from her body. We are absolutely walking together, but it is different from the aquarium with a different kind of throbbing in my chest. This man is so fucking down there now. This one is, we walked together for a while. Skipping the station, we walked towards my house. Your house isn't this way? I'm sure it was towards the station. This way is clearly a roundabout route. But she shakes her
う
head.
ん、いいの。今日だけは。
Senpai?
河野さん、こっち。
Okay? Without really knowing what's going on, I follow him to not be separated. Where on earth is she headed? They start to doubt. Senpai halts. She stretches her
河
finger.
野さん、あれ、
Cherry blossoms. The river bank is lined with flowering cherry blossom trees. Now imagine if the Chad just fucking throws out the confession without even really, like, being really aware of what the fuck he's doing. The river bank is lined with flowering cherry blossom
行きま
trees.
しょう。
She says and smiles. Did you come for this?
私、山とか海とか好きで、木とか花とかも好きで、だからこういうところ歩くのも好きで、だからこういうところにいると落ち着いて、だから河野さんも。
She flushes and looks down. She looks somewhat anticipatory. Is she worried about how I feel? Swaying from joy to sorrow to silly thoughts brought just by looking at her. So I smile back with all my strength. Thank you, Senpai. I'm taking it back. She sighs. She sighs in relief, still looking down towards the
よかった。
petals. Hachi. He says, but it's not like I was taken aback by his cherry blossoms. But that was too embarrassing to say. Compared to cherry blossoms lining the street, Senpai is so much more, Let's walk a little. She nods. Take our first steps together. Walk alongside Senpai by beautiful cherry blossom trees, but the only presence I'm aware of is hers. 31st. Good morning! I'm the student council room, cheery as always, but I'm greeted instead with just a sigh. Senpai, I look at her. Spring wind is breezing in from an open window. This is the only day she's not been in her usual place. She had placed the seat by the window and was looking sadly outside. She wasn't giving off the air of cherry blossoms, but the atmosphere of dead leaves, dried leaves. You're gloomy, Senpai? What on earth happened? Is this about Marion? It's been a while since she's seen her, so she might be down about it. I cautiously initiate a conversation. Senpai. Senpai? Senpai? Kuzugawa!
河野さん、
He jerks around to see him face me. What's the matter? Could this be about Marion? I look at her.
そんなんじゃ。
She looks down unhappily. Something bothering you? If there is, how about talking to me about it? I kneel down in front of her and look at her downturned face.
河野さん。
I want to be helpful to you. I gaze at her face. She averts her eyes slightly as though she seems to be giving it serious consideration. Then she lets out a little sigh and smiles to me.
わかったわ。私の話、聞いてくれる？
Yes. And now I'd confirm the obvious. Starts talking hesitantly bit by
あ
bit.
のね、河野さん、
Yes?
オオサンショウウオって知ってる？
Japanese great salamander? If I'm not mistaken, the living fossil, it's the world's largest amphibian that's a protected species, right?
ええ、そう。
Did a member of the species die and that's what she said? She acknowledges my answer. But Japanese giant salamander? Why don't you pan about it? She confesses.
それがね、流されたんだって。
Huh?
台風でオオサンショウウオが下流に。でも護岸工事でオオサンショウウオは上流に帰れないの。
Yeah?
かわいそう。
She says, looking out the window again and sighs. She's not.
河野さん、
Yes? She again turns towards me with a puppy dog
オオ
eyes.
サンショウウオ取りに行っちゃ
Definitely not.
ダメかな。
Huh? This is what's troubling her? She plans to go catch the salamanders washed downstream? What the heck? Seeing a painful smile, I can't say anything. Or should I say it's impossible to
ダ
answer?
メなの？ダメ？ダメなんだ。
Jane's red despondent. She again looks out with a sad expression to the scenery
かわい
outside.
そう。
Don't give me that. In the end, Senpai spends the entire day staring at the register of endangered species and not a shred of work was done. This woman acts like she has got it together, but she is a mess. Like she just sits to like work to be done in front of her. She just sits there. The poor salamanders. The student council activity is work outside the student council room. We haven't done that in a while. That's fine though. It's called student council, but it's for everything on campus. From planning school functions to supervising club activities to the maintenance and repair of the student of this campus students' shared facilities. Everyone decided what they're each capable of doing. Everyone decides what they're each capable of doing. With great power, one must shoulder great responsibility as well. So that's why Kuzugawa's policy may be unpopular with students, but popular with the campus proprietors, board of directors, and staff that the students say are directing Kuzugawa's puppet regime. Kuzugawa calls out to me and I turn my head. Sitting up the lawn?
はい。
Us too.
生徒会には私と河野さんしかいないから。
In other words, yes. Sitting up the land. Look around the room. Isn't that impossible?
私もそう思います。
Then peel it, please! I couldn't take in the dozens of computers in that room without getting a headache. There's the computer room. It's a new dedicated room available from the new term. It's all well and good to have a fancy new PCs all lined up, but they were left without any LAN setup. Isn't this sort of thing normally left to contractors?
私もそう思うんだけど、
Thought so? She said awkwardly to my question.
予算の都合で
The budget.
しないと生徒会の予算を削るって言われて。
This is more consequence of Marian's legacy.
一応達人の人という助っ人の方がいらっしゃるみたいだから、私たちはこの図面に従ってケーブルを作って床下に通して接続するだけでいいと思うの。
Just follow the diagram, make up the cable, pass it on the floor. Don't you think that's a lot of work, Sasara? Furthermore, this diagram resembles some kind of puzzle.
まず ケーブルを作りましょうか。
She says, smiling with her hands folded in front of her waist, though I make out a slight wrinkle in her brow. I'm peeling the cable to expose the cores. There's a lot of them. They're fine, but they stain. Shouldn't we be attaching it to this connector like those telephone line jacks they sell first? Perhaps the computers themselves first? Wish they hadn't scrimped down on the budget. Actually, by all rights, this stuff should have been given to contractors. Glance over and watch Kuzgawa silently cutting cables. If we carry any resentment, it should be directed at Marion. The reason the budget is so tight and the dinosaurs became extinct is all her fault. Sounds like she cut her hand. She's sucking on her right index finger. You're clumsy at this, so please leave it to me.
不器用。
Senpai hangs her head at that word. Cheer up, please!
でも不器用。
She's so unhappy about the word that she crawls under her desk.
不器用。
Now look, it's just a catting LAN cables. You can't turn it to a hermit out over that, Senpai. We finally finish making the cables and start connecting them. We open the panel on the floor and Senpai and I lay the cables onto the floor. From here from here to here is 3 meters. Well, 3 meters with the cable and connected. This side's connected, this side's connected. Senpai?
こっちは届かないわ。
Huh? But the cable's 3 meters exact.
3メートルぴったりだと届かないんじゃないかしら。もう少し余裕がないと。
Shit, I hadn't thought of that. I'm losing my common sense. I'm not noticing things that normally would. And what about 3.5 meters? Ah, what a pain. What about 4 meters? She lets out a sudden shriek. I get a bad feeling about it. What is it, Senpai?
気にしないで。
I'm suddenly very worried about it! She raises her hand, smiling it off awkwardly. Now I'm really worried! I stare at her and she tells me apologetically. Her expression says, please don't get
4メー
mad.
トルにするなら4メートル用に作ったケーブルで代用すればいい気がして。他もぴったりに作ってるんだから作り直しだし、ならそうやって使うところをずらせば作り直す本数が少なくて済む。ごめんなさい。
Ah! You start the cable making process. Thanks to Kuzgawa's advice, we finish it up with only one wasted stretch cable. Take a cable and crawl around the floor following the diagram. Senpai also holds the cable and moves around on all fours connecting cables.
河野さん、こっちは接続したわ。
But this side doesn't reach. Try my best to pull the other end of the cable, but it clearly doesn't reach the terminal. Well, sure, we left enough extra.
どこかで引っかかってるんじゃないかしら。
Maybe?
多分これが。
Here, you mean here? I look at where she's pointing and pull on that spot. That same time, Senpai's shriek reverberates in the room. I look up and see the cable's actually coming from a different direction, and it rides up into Senpai's crotch.
河野さん、
Sorry, that! I'm confused by the bizarre turn of events and tangle my foot in the mound of cables tripping over. This turns out to be the worst possible eventuality. What the? $154. I'm censoring that just to be careful. 154. There we go. Having lifted up yet another few cables, I've trapped Senpai like in a spider's web.
見ないで。
She says, and I frantically avert my eyes and shout, I'm not looking! Not looking! I did not notice your panties were black today!
河野さんのバカ。
I'm sorry, forgive me! A voice of anguish emanates. Are you okay? No, I mustn't look, but I'm worried about her. I checked with a brief sidelong glance. How the hell did that happen? Strong cable got tangled in her legs. One leg in particular is pulled outward and she can't close her legs even if she
お
tries.
願い、見ないで。
Yes! I stand up at attention, turn towards Senpai. Seems she's trying to break out herself, however.
やだ、そんな、痛い。やだ、助けて。
Senpai! Restrain myself being stopped by Senpai's shout as I'm about to look around. But this can't be resolved this way.
お願い、あっちに向いてて。
But I can't free you without looking! Imagine the look on her face. Okay, I'll do it blindly somehow.
河野さん。
But please forgive me for touching. Fumble around following the cable. Sorry! I apologize for touching some inappropriate place and try to release the cable. However, I can't do it, it's so tight.
河野さん。
Just stay like that forever. That's the uneasy sound in her voice. But thinking about removing it will be impossible without pulling it all out from under the flooring. In which case, I have no choice. It's the only option. Except I'm going to destroy our work. Take out a pair of scissors and without looking at her, touch the blades of the cable, making sure not to hurt her. Here goes. She lets out a lovely sounding shriek. Since she's finally free. I finally look to check on her and she's rubbing her wrists, breathing a sigh of relief. She hastily pulls down her rolled up skirt. You're not hurt, are you?
ありがとう、河野さん。
Thank goodness you're alright.
でも、
But Senpai looks around her. Shredded cable fragments are strewn everywhere.
最初からやり直しね。
Having remade and reconnected the cables a number of times, we finally managed to complete the work. Next, can I think of it? One of the helpers.
ちー。
Huh? Feel a stare on my back and look around.
ルー。
Please center yourself. Ryu? You seem to have attracted attention, all hands raised. It's two girls that burst into the computer room. They both look very familiar, so I think they're twins. Very similar, so I think they're twins. Fair enough. What interests me is that both are in casual clothing. Even though it's a vacation, it's expected for students to wear uniforms in the school. So are these girls here without permission? You know, no unauthorized personnel are allowed here. To which the cheery disposition girl says to me matter-of-factly.
今は関係者違うけど、今度から関係者になるよ。
Not authorized now, but next time? What does that mean? New students?
ルー。
Yes, that means yes! Regardless, we're in the middle of some work here, so if you're looking around, can you find another place?
でも、ここやって言われたもん。
Here?
手伝ってって言われて。
Hell, you mean to tell me? Are you two the land experts? Our helpers? They just look like ordinary schoolgirls. What's more, young ones at that. And the feistier one attacks me.
ああ、サンちゃんのこと疑ってる。サンちゃんはあんたなんかより天才なんやもん。
Genius?
クルス側エレクトロニクスの技術顧問してるんやから。
Kurusugawa, the world's industry leader in androids. A year younger than
ちょっ
me.
と永瀬のおっちゃんのお手伝いしてるだけや。大したことあらへんよ。
The girl called Sanchan once more affirms with Ru. Nah, but an assistant engineering consultant probably means she designs androids. That's no big deal that I'm nothing more than a water flea. The amazing girls coming to the school from April. In which case, this classroom may have been prepared just for them.
なあなあ、それでお手伝いはせんでええの？
But I look out the window. The sun is already setting. If we work from now, we'll be here until the middle of the night.
こんなんすぐ済むから大丈夫や。
Eh? Sun sits in front of a terminal and flicks the switch. Seeing it boot up properly, she connects an external HDD.
ほな、ちゃっちゃと終わらせるな。
Huh? Sun's fingers move nimbly. The movement is as fast as the eye can see, and there is no break in the sound of her keystrokes. A number of windows appear on the screen and disappear without me seeing what on earth was on them. What's more, somehow what she's doing makes the other terminals she's not touching boot up, and I'm dumbfounded. It goes without saying, Sun's aware of everything.
あとは職員室のサーバーに。
Finally, Sun connects them to the staff room servers, in other words, the school's main server. However, her fingers stop there for the first time.
ファイヤーオール？
There seems a wall there, literally, but without looking remotely perturbed, Sun comes up with a solution.
しゃあないなあ。あっち行くの面倒やから、セキュリティホールを利用して、
That's not kosher.
中に入って、
That's not kosher.
穴埋めて、
That's
リ
not
モートコン
kosher?
トロールでサーバ
That's
ー
not
動かさ。
kosher.
きっとお家のマシンから学校のサーバーに入れたらい
That
ろ
is
いろ
not
便利や
kosher.
し。
Isn't what this girl's saying illegal? But she's not all perturbed. And her work is safely completed?
これで作業は無事完了したよ。アメリカ大統領のパソコンにも入り放題や。
Seriously?
はあ、信じてへんの？ほな、アメリカ空軍の秘密 UFO ファイルにアクセスするな。こないだ秘密のムービーがあるの見つけて、これを世界中にアップしたらきっと全世界がひっくり返るよ。
Ah! Don't go creating world unrest!
つまらんの。ほな、バイバイ。
Bye bye. Kuzgawa and I see the girl's off as far as the front gate. You can witness the number of inappropriate actions sent by his hands shake. These girls will be coming to our school in the new term.
ええ、
They might bring MIB along. Senpai puts on a troubled smile or rather nervous twitch. Just kidding. I want to say, but I can't help feeling that they'll bring not only MIB but aliens.
河野さん、集計終わった？
Yeah, it's perfect. I flash Kuzgawa with thumbs up. She chuckles. Does she think me doing this is so funny?
そう。じゃあ、今日はこれでおしまいにしましょうか。
That's the a la carte for today's student council. I repaired the flower beds with Kuzgawa, replaced the lights in the corridor with Kuzgawa, ate lunch with Kuzgawa, and tallied questionnaires with Kuzgawa. Today was all so full of Kuzgawa. That's because it's spring break, and the fact that holiday has nothing to do with our relationship. My world now revolves around Senpai. Of course, I was totally worked up to come to the student council room tomorrow, but...
河野さん。
yes? Turn around when she calls out. What is it? Then I notice she looks slightly down. Did something happen? Was it something that shouldn't have happened?
そうじゃないの。
So what the heck is it?
ね、今度の土曜日のことなんだけど。
Saturday.
土曜日の生徒会活動をお休みにしたらダメかしら。
Of course, you're the president, so it doesn't matter at all. Do we have something to do? Well, it might be a problem doing student council things nearly every day when it's actually spring break. Still, why not all of a sudden?
ええ。旅行にね、行くことになったの。
Travel.
そんな遠いところじゃないの。ちょっと山の方に。
Senpai seems a little
そ
flustered.
の父と。
Your father.
ええ。春休みだから。
Her answer seems to subtly deviate from the question. This is my imagination. She begins talking about the trip as if to justify it.
好きなの、父が。もともと画家志望だったんだけど、なんだか海や山に何日も出かけて絵を描く人で、それのせいか動物にも詳しくて、それで今度も一緒に山を散策するの。
I wonder if her father influenced her interest in jellyfish, sea slugs, and frogs.
何か変？
Ah, no, I was thinking for sure you were going to try and rescue giant salamanders.
バカね。
She blushes as she speaks.
だから、その。
It's fine, don't worry. Please enjoy your time with your father. She says, but expression is indeterminate. Does she worry about me? Not to student council that much. Alright, then I'll liven up the mood before her trip. Oh, yeah, since you're going on a trip, probably wondering if I'd like a souvenir. I give her the thumbs up, however.
お土産。
Senpai. Crap, now she's brooding. Standard stuff's fine. Keychains, flags, manju buns.
そう？
You didn't need to mention fucking souvenirs. Let's just say like, oh, you're going there to paint with, you're going there with father to paint. So, I assume your father will be painting, and I assume it'll be very nice view, so, bring back some pictures, I guess. I want to see what it was like. Yeah, yeah.
頑張ってお土産用意するわ。
I've got a touch of satisfaction as it'd be nice if she thought she could open up to me. She's a complicated soul. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Morning. Student council room's deserted. It seems Senpai hasn't shown up yet. Well, it was locked to begin with, so it's only natural. He used a spare key to enter. Because God was going on a trip on Saturday. He was coming back today, right? Knowing the kind of person Senpai is, not seeing her now makes me worry. Turn towards the voice.
おはよう。
Senpai, good morning. There's Senpai, who I haven't seen in a few days. It was less than a week, but it seems like a really long time. Your trip was enjoyable. She blushes a bit, but she seems happy when she answers.
ええ。父が穴場に連れて行ってくれたの。楽しかったわ。たくさん可愛いのがいて。
Cute, you mean salamanders? Senpai flinches at my comment. Those salamanders.
やっぱり変
No, well, to each their own.
変なのね。変。
No, don't turn away. I must turn her back somehow. That's right. Senpai startled. Senpai, it's a souvenir.
Eh?
Didn't you say you'd buy me a souvenir? That's right, a souvenir. They were souvenirs. Senpai was clutching a big paper bag when she entered. They must be in there. Souvenirs. 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 She got all excited. Senpai overcomes her embarrassment and points towards the aforementioned bag.
じゃあこれ
Yay! My face glows with an ecstatic expression. I wonder what it is, being so big.
もらったものなの。でも事情があって家に置いとけなくって、それで大切に可愛がってくれる人にあげよう。
Why do I suddenly have a bad feeling? So he shows me. What an incredible honor. What an incredible honor, Commander, in a good way. Can I open it here? She looks away and nods. There's nothing to get so embarrassed about. Don't mind if I do then. What on earth is it? Pull open the bag, excited, something pops up. Its stuffy softness doesn't match its form. Is this a Gecko Fluffy toy? It is actually so fucking cute! That's actually a very nice thing. That actually kind of cute. Sound that. She says, her voice fading away softer and softer. How can she even tell the difference? Actually, even before that, where does one buy such a weird fluffy toy? Senpai stares at me. Yeah, well, I only have 3 responses to choose from. Okay, how about this? It's an interesting fluffy toy. Interesting was not the right fucking word to choose. Literally, like, all you had to say is, like, it's cute. Because, newsflash, it is kind of cute. Bad choice. Senpai hangs her head despondent and trudges towards the door.
帰る。
Wait! Senpai! Senpai! I'm left standing alone in the student council room. Girls of this age are so complex. No, they're fucking not! You're just a dumbass! There is one annoying part of, you know, having 2 drink crates here. I can't, like, put my foot on there properly. Yeah, I guess this one works.
お昼にしましょうか。
But only slightly. Sure. It's lunch break. During spring break, it's always break time. During school, we'd be eating separately. Since we're together in the same room from morning till night, the amount we're eating together has increased substantially. More or less. Let's not speak of the awkward third term, which I can neither confirm nor deny. I haven't brought any lunch. It's a pain to prepare, and I usually depend on the boss on him during some spring break, because the cafeteria is closed. I get up to go to the convenience store. Do you need anything, Senpai? I casually look towards her. I see she's already pulled out a paper box from her personal locker. Her usual wheat bran biscuit. Today's has the luxury of dried fruit. Guess not. Probably still use the cherry blossoms though. Senpai forces a smile, considering my reaction. She cuts in.
サラダなんかあると嬉しいわ。 種類は何でもいいから。ドレッシングは和風で、あと
Vegetable juice.
そうね、それもお願いできる？
Face tints red and she nods. Roger that. I salute and depart from the student council room. I ponder along the road. Still, is that really all she eats? I called her consuming dietary supplements earlier. I see her eating something like that virtually every day for lunch. What with calorie bars, nourishing jellies, health drinks, and occasionally taking supplements. After she's on a diet, how on earth could she get any thinner? She's pretty slim, and she has big boobs. Don't tell me she wants smaller boobs! But those boobs are awesome! You idiot, idiot, idiot! Quit thinking of Senpai in such shameful ways. Senpai's boobs get smaller, it's your fault. Idiot, 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 idiot! Bought everything!
ありがとう。
She hasn't opened the wheat bran biscuit. Looks like she waited for my
それじゃ
return.
いただきましょうか。
She nibbles on her biscuit. She still has a salad, but it doesn't look like lunch. Found myself asking that question. Senpai,
何？
are you only ever hungry for stuff like that?
そうかしら。
She inclines her head slightly. Thinks about and speaks at the biscuit packaging.
食物繊維がたくさん入っているから、そんなことあんまりないんだけれど、ちゃんとカロリーも計算しているし。
Uh-huh. It is as she says. Probably does have the right amount of calories and nutrients for a grown woman. But, Senpai...
何？
Pull my chair back and approach her. Senpai stares shocked at my mysterious actions. Take the pork cutlet I bought for myself, rip it in two, and plop one portion in her.
河野さん？
She calls out to my sudden bizarre action. Her voice is tinged with anxiety. I think you need to eat meat once in a while to grow.
もう、バカね。
He says and timidly pecks at her pork cutlet. Nice, isn't it? Watch for her reaction. She responds with a faint smile.
美味しいわ。
Wanna have some more?
ダメよ。あなたの分がなくなってしまうわ。
She pushes the rest
河
of my
野さん
tray.
こそ、ちゃんと食べないとダメよ。
Why so? Having been told that, I stuffed the rejected cutlet in my mouth.
どうしたの？
She looks puzzled at the strange expression on my face. Nothing. This isn't a direct kiss! No.
河野さん、
Oh.
大丈夫？
Or less. I forced a smile to allay her worries.
もう、そんなに慌てなくてもいいのよ。
Senpai looks out the window. Cherry blossoms flitter around the school gate.
春休みなんだから。
Time flows gently. If we don't force anything, we can take it all in. Wouldn't be bad if this continued forever. It would be quite the blessing. I feel productive helping Kusagawa, the student council. But because of that blessing, I ponder. This daily routine will probably end with the new term, and we'll only meet after school. I'll take another step forward. With work, of course, but I'd also like to advance in something else besides that. Every day passing has been very relaxing. That's what made me want more. So I tried to spur on one last adventure for spring break. Senpai?
何？河野さん。
You don't bring your own lunch? Senpai looks a little perplexed, then she smiles.
母は忙しい人だから。それに、料理も得意じゃなくて、でも、お金はちゃんともらってるの。だから、大丈夫。
Senpai can be nice, giving the impression that that was a... That was a rationalization. She's embarrassed that neither her nor her mother have a knack for cooking. Looks like she hasn't planned to bring lunch. In which case, I resolve myself to speak. Senpai?
何？
Senpai's surprised. I look at her, inhale, and say in one breath, Can I make you lunch?
河野さんが？
She looks pretty shocked. Guess so, to be suddenly offered something like that. Even more surprising coming from a guy to a girl. I'll be doing it, as reckless as it comes. No, I don't have much faith in myself. But it so happens that the One-son next door helps out, so we can prepare you something to eat from that.
でも、悪いわ、河野さんに。
She murmurs, but since I blurted that out, I have no intention of backing down. Not at all, I've been myself besides, so I should be able to prepare a meal. And if there's someone else to eat, that will inspire me all the more. No? Senpai considers my
迷
offer.
惑じゃない？
What trouble could it be if we've eaten out at the same pot? We've eaten out of the same pot, haven't we? A gesture to the poor cutlet on the salad. She sighs at my insistence. Seems fretful, but in the end she smiles.
じゃあ少しなら。
Alright! So that's how I decided to bring lunch next time. I'm already happy about that. I'm already happy about it. Senpai seems surprisingly okay with meat and fish. From a person that eats sea slugs and sea squirts, that should come as no surprise. I take off and search for a lunchbox to buy from the station that's suitably cute for a girl. This might look odd to other customers, but this choice is what a girl that made her own lunch would probably choose. Weird. 7. I enthusiastically told Kazgawa to leave lunch to me, but in fact, I've never cooked anything! Well, I could probably make something edible from a cookbook, but some that lane would be criminal to feed Kazgawa. Which means, I'd like to ask Haruka for help.
コナミも手伝うでありますよ。
Don't.
なんだか楽しそうね。愛妻弁当。ご飯の上に桜でんぶでハートマーク書いちゃうとか。
It's not
それ
quite...
でお相手は誰？ユージくん。
That's harsh, Haruka.
それはそれとして、どんなお弁当にしたいの？希望のおかずとかある？
Pretty standard stuff and fried prawns.
エビフライね。
That too hard?
そうね。たくさんの油を使うから慣れないと怖いかもしれないけど、作り方自体は簡単よ。
Dan, could you please assist me? About Haruka.
じゃあまずエビの尻尾を切ってしごいて水を出す。
Tails.
水分が入ってるの。跳ねて危険よ。
We're already facing danger. Man knows cook plus. If Haruka wasn't here, I would have thrown them in as is.
次にエビの背わたを串で取って。そうそう、上手よ。
I fumble along with her instructions. Next mix. Let's fill them with salt and flour with eggs. Breadcrumbs on
あ
them.
とは170度の油で揚げて出来上がり。
Okay! It was getting more and more intense to get cold feet as I faced a huge pot of
大
hot
丈
oil.
夫よ。菜箸を入れて泡が出れば170度。一度にたくさん入れちゃダメよ。温度が下がっちゃうから。
Follow Haruka's lead and maneuver the prawns into the oil. Then, I did it!
おめでとうであります。
美味しそうね。これならいつでもお嫁さんに行けるわよ。
I wouldn't say
好
that.
みより上手かもね。
お母さん？
Anyway, having defeated my mortal foes, fried prawns means I must be tough. Follow Haruka's instructions to skillfully garnish and dish up the rest of the lunchbox. Then I take it with me as I rush off to school. Senpai, senpai, hey, senpai! I burst to the student council room holding out a lunchbox. It is done.
河野さん？
Senpai boggles at my sudden intrusion. Pay no attention, I put down the lunchbox on the table in front of her, still wrapped up in a napkin. It is done. The lunchbox. It is perfect. Senpai, shocked, stares at the lunchbox. Then she looks up and stares at me. There's some kind of placid atmosphere. What's she working? Look at the clock on the wall. But it's right on 12:30, which would normally be lunch break. Shit, the student council work. I was so engrossed in making the lunch, I forgot about the work. Sorry! I'm all flustered and bowing to a complete 180 degrees at the
いいの。
waist.
河野さんは役員じゃないんだから。
She may say that, but her face does not seem impressed. I think she really is disappointed in my discretion. But
いいの。食べましょう。
she smiles at me.
美味しいんでしょ？ずっと何も食べてないの。河野さんがお弁当作るって言ってたから。
She did that specifically for me. I'm moved by her gesture. Alright. Grab napkins and open the lid. I've tasted it. May look good, but it's not like some manga conclusion or anything.
そう。
Senpai examines the dishes in a small orange lunchbox one by one. But not once does she grab her chopsticks. Are you allergic to prawns or something?
大丈夫よ。そんなことないわ。
She shakes her head. Well then, hurry up. There's wrong.
そうね。冷めちゃうもの。
No, it's a lunchbox, so it's already pretty cold. She takes the chopsticks and then takes a deep breath. She doesn't trust me. She appears to be trembling from nervousness. Sensing the atmosphere, I gulp. Perhaps she's conscious of my apprehension. She puts on a forced
それ
smile.
じゃいただきます。
She clasps her hands together, bows her head, and snags a fried prawn with her chopsticks. That prawn she's suspending came up pretty darn good color, even if I do say so myself. It's a perfect fox color. She edges it to her mouth and opens wide. She fills her eyes and chews. She furrows her brow slightly. What does that mean? Did I swear up? She swallows it smoothly, and then, as if to express all the weariness in her life, she lets out a huge sigh. I didn't really ask her what it was really like. Then she turns to me and smiles.
大丈夫。
She cuts off and lifts her hand to the front of her mouth. Senpai? I soon realize something happened as she leans forward and the lunchbox falls to the ground. She was about to say something, but nothing came out. Don't tell me. Senpai? No way, no way. Hang in there, Senpai! Senpai!
こちらマーリャン子供相談室。ただいまマーリャンはバイト中なのだ。いやー、最近モサドの連中がしつこくてね。
Panic!
手短にどうぞ。タカリャン？タカリャンなの？
Marion, that was all I ended up saying. I sat on the floor of the corridor and couldn't
タ
move
カ
a
リャン
step.
でしょ？どうしたの？どうかしたの？泣いてるの？ そっか。そういう意味だったか、あれは。
Marion lets out a big
私も不
sigh.
思議だったのよ。なんでサーリャンはいつもあんなの食ってるのか。学食に行かないのか。
Marion noticed Kusagawa's unbalanced diet but didn't seem to know
高
why.
級レストランには詳しいから、初めはお嬢様だからとか、人混みが苦手とか思ったけど、そのくせヤックのバーガー食べ慣れてるし、妙だったのよね。
So why? Kusagawa would eat things like sea slugs, but why?
私の勘だけどタカリャン。サーリャンは人の手が怖いのよ。
Human
手
touch.
作りはアウトってこと。サーリャン、人に好かれるのに怯えてたじゃん。基本的に誰とも接触したくないわけ。なのに人が作った食べ物を自分の体に入れちゃうの。サーリャンみたいなダメっ子に耐えられると思う？ヤックのバーガーやコンビニのとんかつが OK なのは大量生産丸出しだからだね。いかにも人の手が入ってなさそうでしょ、あれには。商品としての誠意はあっても一つ一つには。だから愛妻弁当なんて人に好かれるの拒否してたサーリャンにとっては毒の塊だったわけだ。マジ死ぬ気だったかも。
You know, I see like the point of why this is happening, but at the same time, what the fuck?
何でも食べられるってのは他人の手が入ってなければだよ、きっと。高級フランス料理とか OK なのは芸術的すぎて人の手が入ってる気がしないだけなのかもよ。
So why didn't you tell me it wasn't okay? If she had told me, another sigh could be heard from the
言う
receiver.
わけないじゃん、サーリャンが。
He says it to me disapproving. She says to me
タ
disapprovingly.
カリャンが一生懸命作ったんだよ。絶対に言うわけないじゃん、いらないなんて。人から離れたがってるサーリャンがさ、タカリャンが近くにいるの許してるって意味分かってる？
What it means for Senpai to allow me to get near. Stand there drawing a blank. What should I do, Senpai? What do I do? Thoughtless is made to suffer. How can I show my face to her again? I'd rather be dead. Unable to drop dead, I seek words of salvation from Marion at the other end of the phone. Response I'm hanging on for it doesn't come.
さあ、
But no.
コンビニのお弁当やレトルト食品は食べられるんだから死にゃしないわよ。
With the flippant response, I get pissed off and anger makes me shout. It's like you don't care what happens to Kusagawa! Marion bites back in a serious voice and most
タ
unlikely.
カリャン、
I start trembling. Then she hisses out a response.
エビフライが食べられないのがそんなに大事なわけ？
Huh?
もっと大事なことがあるでしょ？何のためのバトンタッチだと思ってんの？
She asks
大
me.
事なのはね、タカリャン。あの子がご飯を食べることじゃないの。生きてるってことなの。死んでないってことなの。要するに、こんなことで私に電話なんぞすなってことだ。肝心のサーリャンは今どこにいるの？
I toss down the receiver and rush off to the infirmary. Senpai! Wanted to defer me out of breath. On the bed inside, Kuzugawa was curled up with a blanket over her head. Her back facing me as if she can't stand being there a moment longer. Seeing her like that, I gripped my fists in anger. What have I done? I moved up beside her. Senpai, but I don't get to finish. Senpai cuts in once
ご
more.
めんなさい。
Her voice fades away. I don't sense even a hint of her spring break cheer. It's like everything was an illusion. Senpai, but it's still preventing me to speak. She repeats over and
ご
over.
めんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
She says over and over in a teary voice. That's enough! It's my fault! I know about you! Her head trembles, still with her back to me.
いいの。そんなこと言わないで。私がしたかったの。河野さんのお弁当食べたかったの。
Senpai.
もうあんな苦しい思いしたくなかったの。だから私好きになりたかったの。頑張って人のこと好きになりたかったの。河野さんが頑張ってるから答えたかったの。河野さん女の子苦手なのに私なんかの世話してくれて春休み台無しにしちゃって。だから
Okay, that's enough! She continues whispering.
ごめんなさい。
She cowers, terrified. She does not look at me. She thinks that it's her fault despite it truly being my own. I also would have pushed her. Though I said I was doing it for her sake, I really was doing it for mine. Senpai was just trying to please me. Senpai acted cheered for me even though I was oblivious. I was saying that Marian was getting carried away with her nonsense. Sit down on the edge of the infirmary bed. That's okay, Senpai. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. I hate the things I hate. I'm uncomfortable with what I'm uncomfortable with. But that's okay.
でも
This time I have to stop her from talking. Please, don't force yourself. You're far better off being open. What you say and what's been said. The infirmary is enveloped in silence after I concluded that. I prepare myself. Regardless of what Senpai says, I will abide by it. Having caused her such distress, she is probably better off without me here. Amidst a long silence, I hear her voice.
河野さんは
あ
河野さんはどう思っているの。私の言ってお願い。好き嫌い
I already said that's been determined. I don't need to be asked that. If I hated you, I look at her back as I speak. I don't think I'd be doing anything for you. Wouldn't make lunch nor buy you a lunchbox. You think you're nothing but a burden, but you're no such thing to me. You get so sad, so depressed, so angry. You're so beautiful when happy, but you're always sad. Convey my hope. That's why I'm the same as Marion. I want to see you be happy, that's all.
河野さん
Bad news is to you? Fearing? Please tell me. I want to know the answer. She does answer.
わからない。
You don't know. Your biggest answer, but she trembles as she speaks.
でも不思議なの。先輩の時と同じ。一人でいる方が楽なはずなのに、生徒会室にいないってわかると不安になる。
Senpai? Senpai reaches out and grabs the scuff of my
お
uniform.
願い。
He suddenly turns to me and pleads.
先輩みたいに一人で行かないで。
Senpai. I'll leave it at that. Senpai's my senpai, so she'd be the first to leave. I won't push her hands away, leaving our hands together. This can be left unanswered, but I'm afraid of ruining the moment. This can't be left unanswered, but I'm afraid of ruining the moment. However, a sudden sound erupts. Senpai grips her fingers at the same time.
ごめんなさい。
Buried under the blankets, she blushes as far as her fingertips. Wipe away the sweat and speak to cover up the awkwardness. You haven't eaten lunch? You can tell she's
河野
not.
さん、
Yes?
私ね、コンビニのお弁当好きよ。
Senpai.
食べたいな。
She says like a wishful kid, but her voice trembles. I can sympathize with her, so I ask kindly. Alright, I'll go down and buy something. What would you like?
オムライス
Omelette rice?
なかったらカレーかハンバーグかスパゲティ。
spotting the similarities, I chuckle. They're all kids' lunches. I catch a glimpse of her face on the blanket she's pouting.
もう意地悪ね。
But there's no sadness or anger there anymore. I just want to protect her. Return to the common routine of spring. Take another first step. So, lucid dreams. Like when you know you're dreaming, potentially letting you take more active control of events. The problem, of course, is realizing you're dreaming in the first place. Thought of a way. Even when the dream is accurate down to the very fine physical details, the passage of time remains ambiguous. In other words, if you try to determine what day it is, what tomorrow is, so on, the resulting uncertainty will tell you that you're actually in a dream. Right, let's write this out. Tomorrow is... I can't remember. Why could this be a dream? The pursuit of dreams is a fool's errand indeed. I'm going to sleep. School starts tomorrow. School starts for literally 2 days. I stretch my hand out to the out from the futon towards the source of the loud noise. Oh, it's a new semester today. Sounded the doorbell from the entryway. It'll be calling me. It's a little early, but today's the school entrance ceremony. Of course, you can't sleep in. I descend the stairs and hear the sound of the door being unlocked.
おはようタカくん。
Morning, you're early today. I'll get ready right away, so come on in and wait. She nods her agreement, but doesn't come inside. What's wrong? Hurry up and come in.
あのね、笑わない？
About what?
とにかく笑わない？
But about what?
どうしてでもいいから。
That's a strange thing to say. I won't laugh or anything.
それじゃあ本当に笑わないでね。
She says and hesitantly enters. For a short while, I sit there dumbfounded looking at Konami. She's wearing a brand new uniform from my school. All this is a change of uniform. But somehow Konami seems different. That's how she appears to me.
やっぱどっか変かなタカくん？
Huh?
やっぱどこか変？
No, it's fine. In all honesty, I'm surprised. Such a change of uniform, the air about her feels completely
おかし
different.
くない？
It's not weird. I'm telling you.
そっか、よかった。
Relieved to my reply, Konami finally shows a faint smile of
お
relief.
母さん笑うんだもん。どうして笑うのか教えてくれないし。
As she speaks, she looks down at her own school uniform. She even tries to look down at her own back and ends up spinning around on the spot like a kitten after her own tail. That's probably because saying anybody can look good with the right clothes comes to mind, but I keep it to myself. Anyway, I'll finish getting ready, so I'll wait here, okay? Today's morning feels different. It's the morning of the school entrance ceremony. It's probably just because Konami's starting now at her school that I find it hard to believe her image can change this much with just a mere change of
いい
clothes.
国作ろうジンギスカン。
What?
泣くよ坊さんジンギスカン。
What?
行くよ一発ジンギスカン。
What?
羊肉。
Another idiotic song with lyrics altered to food. It's impressive that she made an entire school the way she is. Acting this way, she's just her regular old self after all.
あ、そうだ。ねえねえタカくん。今朝の星占い見た？
Horoscope. That's usually at the end of the morning program, isn't it? No, I didn't see
え
it.
え、今日のタカくんの運勢大吉だったよ。
What's that supposed to mean? Great
それ
fortune?
とラッキーカラーは紫、ラッキーアイテムは鏡だって。はい、用意しといたよ。
She says and hands me a hand mirror painted purple. Oh, the mirror has the most ominous feeling seeping out of it. That mirror is kind of eccentric and it's creeping me out.
どうして？
Not sure I can really say why.
これでタカくんは今日一日ラッキーだね。
He smiles and slides it into my pocket. Thanks.
どういたしまして。
Feels like ominous sounds have started coming from nowhere in particular. What's more, as my shoulders suddenly feel heavier. No doubt about it. This is the everyday coming to me. Must be an optical illusion that she looks so different today. Yep. We're at the bottom of the stairs we always pass. Konami stops walking and looks up with a blank stare. Drawn by her gaze, I also look up. There at the top is a nightmare.
遅いわよ高坊。
Yep. The bag I'm carrying slides off. What the? What's Tamina doing? Wearing my school uniform?
どうしたの高坊。さてはこの玉お姉ちゃんに見惚れてたな。
Sorry, but you're already off the table for first round.
そりゃねえよ。
Behind her, Yuji sighs and mumbles. An explosion from the back of her fist. What's going on here? Well, she was going to Terajo, wasn't it? Wasn't she? Behind Yuji is hanging his head in pain, pleading with me. Don't tell me. Tell me. What happened to Terajo?
テラジョって？
Didn't you say you were going to Terajo?
あら、何のこと？
What do you mean to do what? You were talking about changing schools to
言
Terajo.
ってる意味がよくわからないけど、そんなこと言った覚えはないわよ。私は。
Now she mentions that Yuji has his head lowered, his hands rubbing together. She deceived
もしかして私と一緒なのが嫌とか？
Despite her smile, she starts to squint her eyes at me. I'm sure the temperature has dropped 2 or 3 degrees. No! Nothing like that!
本当？
Body trembling and nod
そ
my
れ
head.
じゃあ嬉しい？
Eh?
嬉しくないんだ。
No, no, no! I'm happy! I'm happy! Happy death!
よろしい。
Suddenly, Konami dashes forward. Then, in a breath, she rushes up the stairs and throws herself into Tamane's bosom.
どうしたのこのみ？
本当に玉お姉ちゃんも一緒なの？
もちろん。このみに嘘なんかつかないわよ。
Does that mean she would lie to the rest of us?
やったー、玉お姉ちゃんと一緒だ。
Konami buries her face into Tama's chest and rubs against her with joy.
このみったら。
だって今日からタカくん、ユウくんと一緒の学校で、そして玉お姉ちゃんも一緒なんだもん。もう嬉しすぎだよ。
私もこのみと一緒でとっても嬉しいから。
Tamane hugs Konami tightly
玉お姉ちゃん、すごくいい香りがする。
as Konami whispers with her eyes dreamily closed. Tamane gently strokes her
すっ
head.
げえな。我が姉ながらなんかエロエロな構図だぜ。
Tamane's chop lands on the mumbly Yuji's throat.
さてそれじゃ行きましょうか。ユージいつまで寝てるの？もう行くわよ。
姉貴はもう少し好みへの優しさを俺に回してもいいと思うんだけどな。
The once peaceful school life. I did think that Konami's debut in our school would make things a little livelier. But to combine Konami with Tamane? How should I put this? That would give anyone tempestuous premonition.
タッカボ何してるの？
タカくん、
Yes, yes. But as for me, I might actually be happy with the way things turned out, since my heart is racing the way it is. Broadcasters, hurry up and bring the equipment in, please. Project my voice to be audible on the megaphone. Feels like an entirely new school term. I decided to manage the hall set up for the opening ceremony as an official help for the student council. Of course, it's a request by my president. Having said that, the reason for my enthusiasm is different. The outcome of this could well change Kusagawa's public image for the better. It also moved me that she had faith in me.
河野さん、
Yes?
始業式の準備進んでる？
Everything's proceeding perfectly?
よかった。じゃあ私は先生方と打ち合わせがあるからここはお願いね。
Roger. I give her a slight bow. She returns a smile. She flicks her hair and strides off, unabashedly in a good mood. Perhaps the real senpai might seep through. Huh? She walks perhaps 10 meters, then she stops in her tracks and glances at me. What is it? If I can read her expression, she turns away again, but soon her head darts back and she again sneaking glances at me. Was there something she forgot to say? As she checks both ways, walks briskly back and pulls out something from her purse.
なんで？
Huh? Without waiting for a response, she pushes it onto me and strides off. I look what's been thrust at me. It's black vinegar juice. Another unusual choice. If she asked, liked it, and a response would be difficult, she probably selected it for health reasons. Just like Kusagawa to overthink things and make the wrong choice as a result. She was thinking not if the person liked it, but rather if it was good for them. I have it now regardless. I decided to be grateful. I stick a throw into the drink box and begin to sip when...
このラブコメ男め
Ah! Senpai's juice! Paper cup clatters to the floor as I'm taken by a stranglehold from
見
behind.
せつけやがってさては春休み生徒会長とよろしくやってたらこの野郎ブワー
I plunge my fist into the face of the idiot behind me. What the fuck are you doing, Yuji, you idiot?
そんなに怒ることないだろ
I shrug off his arms and retrieve the fallen cup. And after she went to the effort of giving it to me...
なんだよ幸せのお裾分けしてくれたっていいだろ
What happiness! You know nothing of people's troubles. Luckily, there's still something in the cup. I attempt to taste it once
お
more.
っとそうはさせるか
Ah! Yuji snatches the cup from my hand.
楠川先輩との間接キス
Yuji smiles creepily and suckles on the straw. Hey.
なんだよ返せって言っても返さねえぞ
Wrong, that's an indirect kiss from me. Everything spurts out of Yuji's mouth. Just kidding, it's just been opened, so neither of us is drunk from it.
それを早く言えよな
Yuji grumbles and throws the paper cup into a nearby bin. But he looks at me seriously, then
た
speaks.
く今回はお前にしてやられたぜ
It's your fault for not checking.
そうじゃなくてな
Yuji forces a smile on his
楠
face.
川先輩のことだよ楠川先輩
Senpai?
まさかあの副長様が
Yuji grabs him by the shoulders and his face stretches to a pathetically filthy grin.
可愛いよな可愛かったよな厳しい顔してるけど本当は傷ついてたんだよな
You're lower than an insect! Cast aside this pathetic human
チ
being.
ェこれだから生徒会長ラボはせっかくいいもん手に入れたのに見せてやんないぞ
Yuji puts on a fake pout that fans what appears to be a photo in his hands and make it out instantly. Is that what I think? That was when Senpai was bawling her eyes out at graduation ceremony. When did he...
学校中に出回ってるぞ1枚500円で
You can't put a price on Senpai. I'm confiscating that. Snatched from Yuji's hand. Jeez, not just Yuji, but everyone is below an insect. So everyone will have to reconsider their view of her. It's not bad, so that's not bad in its own way. Since that incident, the tide has changed. School papers first edition screamed, wailing student council president. Student council president urges Senpai don't graduate. Is the love mutual? Kuzugawa and Marian's forbidden relationship. Well, the last part aside, they say that even the hardest of hearts can break down into tears, though the student council president is a girl after all. In other words, it can be taken as a personality plus. So idiots like Yuji are taking it well. In secret, it's improved her standing amongst male students. But nonetheless, look at the confiscated picture. Senpai's childlike weeping is clear to see. Everyone's looked out for themselves. No one did anything to ease her pain. If they had, she wouldn't have cried so much. Besides, a cheerful senpai is so much better than a crying senpai.
じ
Sensing an unpleasant gaze, I look up from the photo. What?
いやラブ臭が漂ってるなぁと
What stench of love? I shout, I can feel myself flushing red in anger or embarrassment.
分かった分かったってお前が楠川先輩に真剣なのは分かったから
I sense the subtle way you're saying serious.
はいはい生徒会の沖田殿
Yuji bows, his chest nearly touching the floor. Okita, who's that?
副長にいっつもひっついてラブだから女の子にちょっと可愛いって言われてるしな
It's only fictional that Okita can't get along so well.
じゃあお前と楠川先輩の関係も創作か
No way. Now listen here. I'm about to make an excuse, but stop. This is pointless. Yuji, or rather the world at large, seems to want to make fun of my relationship with the student council president. Kuzugawa has a special position within the school, so they probably want to gossip about her. But we don't have the relationship that the public expects. Being sincere about such a serious thing between us is it's quite repulsive, so I don't want them to joke about it. No comment, leave it alone. Tell them straight, Yuji shrugs his shoulders.
オーケーオーケーもう何も言わねえってそれじゃ頑張って副会長としての職務を全うしてくれたまえ
I'm done too. I leave Yuji and I'm about to depart. However, some stops me from stepping out. What did you just say now? Yuji repeats, annoying.
だから副会長の職務を
Who?
お前が
Me? I find myself gripping Yuji's throat. Me? Student council president. I hope you mean like fucking collar, not throat.
違ったか
Oh no, he's actually joking. Yes.
でも新聞も他の奴らもお前が副会長だって。
What the? Take the paper from Yuji and read the article in question. Additionally, the closing ceremony is being planned by the Vice President Takaaki Kono. It's true! When did that happen? This man now knows what this man now knows what Koseki had to go through. Everyone's like, hey, class press! I'm not class press! Did I get this misconception when I plotted to be a committee member? No, they must have screwed it up when Kusagawa was away.
じゃあお前本当に副会長じゃないのか？
Tell the belittled Yuji. Not only am I not the vice president, I don't hold any official post.
おいおいマジかよ。
I'm serious. I mean, you can't become one without announcing candidacy, can you?
あのなあ。
Yuji shakes his head in disbelief.
前に言わなかったか？立候補がいないときは任命された生徒会長が後から指名していいんだって。 そいつと生徒会長が OK と言えばそいつが副会長。まあ一応クラス委員による信任投票はあるはずだけどな。
But Kusagawa hasn't said anything. She wouldn't have done that. It's just the newspaper club behaving like a tabloid. But Yuji's mouth is still wide open.
でもさ、あれだけ生徒会長に信頼されて終業式の仕掛け人だったやつが役職なしだなんて誰も信じねえぞ。
Yuji hisses and sarcastically asks.
副会長じゃない、生徒会長の彼氏でもない。あんじゃお前は生徒会の何なんだ？
The opening ceremony ends without a hitch. After returning to the classroom and listening to the messages from the teacher and Komaki, the school day is over. In a strange, man-of-the-moment way, my classmates soundly encourage me as I head to the student council room. But my shoes feel like they're made of lead. Vice President Takaaki Kono. I say the words, but they don't sound right. While it's true that I helped with the student council, it's not my ambition. I was just trying to help Kusagawa. To be honest, it didn't feel much like I was doing student council work. I was doing it solely for personal reasons. The closing ceremony I hijacked for selfish reasons, abused by authority. Did I get such authority from before? It was no more than a trick play. Being known as some kind of vice president makes me feel kind of guilty. Can I keep doing student council work in light of the contradiction? Of course, it's not like I want to stop supporting Kusagawa. Thinking logically, it's probably okay to help out the student council even with such a personal agenda. Those thoughts run endlessly in my head. Before I arrive at a conclusion, I arrive at the student council room. Naturally, no matter how long I think about it, no answer will be forthcoming. I should consult Kusagawa. As I'm thinking that, an oddly out-of-place object appears before me. What's this? Now I know what it is. It's a mat for doing somersaults on. That I know. Problem is, what's it doing leaning against the wall in the corridor outside the student council room? Gymnastics in the corridor? That's far too unusual. Something about the mat fascinates me. I stare at it sidelong while my hand reaches for the student council room door. However, my hand grasps air. I look and there's no student council door. It's not left open. It simply isn't there. I look around to my amazement. I don't see it anywhere.
Kono-san?
Senpai? Kusagawa's in the room looking bewildered. Where'd the door go?
わからないの。私が来た時にはもう扉がなくて
Someone stole the door! Senpai tilts her head, completely baffled.
盗まれたのかしら。
I doubt it. Such an old door would only be good for kindling to heat up a bath. Was anything else stolen?
他に
Senpai opens the equipment lockers. When she opens her food storage locker, she lets out an ah. She then looks at me frightened. Was something
ない
stolen?
の。
Gone?
いつも食べてるあれが一箱。
It's the what the wheat brand biscuits? The whole box? She nods, checking the bin, and there's the box on all the packaging. But no wheat brand biscuits. You ate it? Ask her, pointing to the empty cases.
私そんな食いしん坊なんかじゃないわ。食べ過ぎは体にも良くないし。
She blushes. Fair enough. Senpai watches her calories and is likely to adhere to the package's recommended intake. The label recommends 2 packets per day. There are 6 in a box. That means 3 days worth of biscuits are missing. Who'd do such a thing? I already know someone who would. I don't know what the story is with the mysterious man at the missing door, but I have a fair idea it would abnormally do such a thing. It seems Senpai comes to the same conclusion.
まさか
Would they be so stupid? I suddenly feel a chill. Cold wind breezes through my soul. It's already blowing hard. It's so cold. My frozen eyeballs looking onto the window. It's open. reach out to the window to close it, but... Huh?
どうかしたの？
It won't budge. It actually won't close. Look at the window. There's a screw immobilizing it. Kidding me. Senpai and I look at each other, then...
そう、そのまさかなのだ。
I'm going to beat you! That voice comes out of nowhere. Ah! Something comes barging in from the window, and Senpai and I pull back in horror. Something flies in over our heads in concert with that voice. Then it leaps into the room, rolls into the corridor, and smashes into the wall. Senpai, are you okay? We check that we're both okay and typically look into the corridor. That doesn't move. Uh-oh. Senpai clings to me in fright. That suddenly stands and puts its hands on its hips. Triumphant about something, it proudly raises its voice.
私は帰ってきた。I shall return.
Shala's future tense. You dumbass.
あうい。
I reflexively chop the top of its head, whether it's been hurt from the wall or my hand that squirms and rubs its spot. I ignore its squeals and tell that. I shall return is for when you say you're leaving. It gives me a headache, but I say her name. Marian.
そんなの学校じゃ習わなかったぞ。
It's elementary level English. Are you a primary school?
チェー、タカリャンの怒りんぼ。もうエッチさせてやんないぞ。
ゴモさん。
Kuzugawa grips my sleeve tightly. Wow, Senpai's crying. I did no such thing! I'm no pedo!
あー、ナチュラルにひどいこと言うな、タカリャンは。私、プロフィールじゃ14歳だけど、ただの自称だぞ。本当はエッチしても犯罪にならない年齢なんだぞ。
Marian seems to be proud somehow. But if you saw her in a train or movie theater, she'd get away with the child's fare. What an awful, awful adult. She charms the world, despite being able to buy adult videos. But Marian pouts displeased at my reaction.
どうせどうせ。そんな風にサーリャンにおっぱい押し付けられてたら、ぺったんこなんて外れだもんね。
Huh? Kuzugawa's... I look sideways. Kuzugawa blushes slightly, but is staring at me. Kuzugawa's face is awfully close. Is that her shampoo? I can smell from here, huh? Ah! Senpai's boobs on my arm! Senpai lets go on my arm when she noticed it too. I didn't even notice when she grabbed my arm, surprise.
ごめんなさい。
I also did notice that,
まったくだ。そんなメロンみたいなおっぱい押し付けられて気づかないなんて。君は不干渉かね。
Marian!
サーリャンもタカリャンに気づいてほしかったらノーブラにしてポッチを押し付けるくらいの覚悟。あう。
My fist burrows its way into her skull. She can joke at anything. No bra, as if, feel a nosebleed coming on. Meanwhile, Kuzugawa flushes more and more at Marian's spacious suggestion, curling up and hiding her boobs.
サーリャン、タカリャン、ノーブラがいいみたいだぞ。さあ、今からレッツチャレンジ。
Without any further thought, Marian moves at lightning speed behind Kuzugawa and snags the bra hook through her clothes.
いや、ホック外さないでください。
Marian! I lean out the window and look up. A rope is knotted on the fence of the rooftop, with the door and the window open. Hitting the mat seemed to be part of her plan. In contrast to her deliberate plan, she seems to have no logical reason.
意味はなくてもやってみる。これだから、検事を知らない子供たちは原爆を奪取するためにとりあえず飛び込んでみるもんだよ。
Kenji. What age is this person really? Eventually things calm down. Tea is served and I sit before Marian and I inquire. So, what brings you here?
なぬ。
So what brings Marian here? Did you graduate to technical school? Furthermore, despite graduating, she came wearing the school's uniform.
ああ、これは営業用だし。
Business? I display my impatience by tapping on the desk, but she seems not at all affected. If anything, she gets even more frivolous.
いやー、人生怖いね。萌えとかいうの流行ってるから、萌えコンテンツでウハウハーと思ってたら、自分が萌えコンテンツになっちゃうんだもん。
I'm going to chuck you out of the open window. What on earth is this person doing and where?
3ヶ月後にエロゲーデビューだから買ってね。主題歌も歌っちゃうかもなのよ。
Please don't recommend
し
that.
ょうがないな。通販特典つけて君ん家に送るから。
No thanks. I turn my face away in refusal. Marian puffs her cheeks.
ひどい。タカリャンは私のアヘアヘ声で悶々してくれないのね。くず。
I'm no longer fooled by her crocodile tears. I flatly reject her and turn my back towards her. Marian saunters over to the open window and sucks in a deep breath. Then she leans out the window.
皆さん、ひどいんです。タカリャン、私じゃ抜けないって言うの。
Ah! I run over and drag Marian back into the room. I'll buy it, I'll purchase it. Marian's eyes light up as she hugs
う
me.
れぴー。あ、でも学生服で買いに行っちゃダメだ。ちゃんと私服で買いに行くこと。未成年に間違われちゃうぞ。
Me happy. How old is Marian really? I'm going to forget about it. I'm sure that even if someone said 70 or 80, it's possible for her. So are you here to promote that eroge? If your promotion is over, please leave. While Marian carries on sipping her hot tea.
そんなに怒るなよ。サーリャンとのアイノスに侵入したからって。
I'll hit you, even if you are a girl.
殴った後に私を女の子と認識するか。傷つくな。
But I've had about enough of her being here. She twirls the empty teacup in her hands and says,
いや、陰性を引こうかと。知らない陰性。日本史で習うと思うけど。
Flush the government. I'm shattered by Marian's answer. Don't go pulling me into student council then, please. Does she think I got dragged into the closing ceremony preparations? Something about this seems to displease her as she mutters.
私だってこんなとこ来る気はなかったですよだ。
Didn't feel like coming here? I stare at Marian, then she spits out.
泣くんだもん。困るじゃない。
She's probably thinking of Kuzugawa at the closing ceremony when she says that, her face all red and her curled up. But those words aren't directed at Kuzugawa. The one that those words are directed at is me. That time I spoke to Senpai on the phone, fretful about Kuzugawa, and then... Sorry. Kuzugawa looks at me, not knowing what I'm talking about. But Marian just tosses and catches the empty teacup.
まあ、タカリャン。サーリャンに抱きつかれて、まんざらでもなかったみたいだったし、心配しないけど。
Marian's jokes with her usual look. It's not something I can laugh about.
で、
So, Marian chuckles and jabs me in the
あ
side.
れからどんなロマンスがあったのかな。
Spit out a mouthful of tea. Marian!
やっぱりあったか。1ヶ月後に期待しちゃっていいかなかな。
What the heck? But Marian goes on playing dumb, sticking me in the cheek with her finger and a finger hard enough to puncture
だ
skin.
ってあそこまでやっちゃうということは当然なんかあったってことだもん。サーリャンにしては大胆だよね。
Did that? What on
と
earth?
ぼけても無駄なんだから。もう新聞にだって載ってるんだぞ。
No way, I've barely touched Senpai's body. Where on earth is this expose written?
だから
Marian gladly
タカリャ
says.
ンの副会長指名。
Huh? What?
もうバレバレなんだって。新聞にも。
Marian holds the same school paper Yuji did and points out the same headline. Does even Marian believe that misinformation? I hastily explained that to her. Then when I thought she'd accepted... Then when I thought she'd accepted, she unexpectedly looks annoyed.
じゃあ何？サーリャン、まだタカリャンを指名してなかったの？
ごめんなさい。
Kuzugawa hangs her head, unable to bear the shame.
もう、そういうのはさっさとやる。生徒会長なんだから好きにやっていいの。
でも、
なんか問題あんの？タカリャン、単勝で候？
そんなこと。
Don't say that. That sounds like you know it. Kuzugawa glances timidly over at me, then Marian directs her attention to me.
タカリャンも黙ってないでアピール。副会長になった暁には3年で金メダルを取れるようにするとか。
What's of a medal?
タカリャンは副会長になる気がないの？
Well, Senpai said she wants me as his vice president. I have no reason to refuse, but I have no reason to ask for it myself. When I help Kuzugawa, but that's precisely why. I'm at a loss for words. Presumably sick of waiting, she drags it out by force.
ただではやらんということか。よし、お昼休みはいつもここで膝枕してやろう。
Marian says and points.
サーリャンが。
先輩。
Marian pulls at Kazugawa's skirt to reveal her
ほ
thighs.
らエロ太ももだぞ。ムニムニしていいんだぞ。いやーねえソーリャン、ソーリャンもタカリャンに膝枕したいよね。タカリャンかわいいもんね。チューしたいね。
Stop it, please. You're troubling
その
senpai.
割にはタカリャン太もも見てる。
They're being shown!
もうサーリャンがこんなにもサービスしてるのに副会長にならない気。
What kind of reasoning is that? Anyway, the vice president should be able to make senpai much
お前
happier.
は生徒会の何なんだ？
What Yuji says starts going around in my head all over again. I finally say what I was suppressing within. It's not what makes... that's not what makes a vice president. I'm not vice president caliber. Please nominate someone more suitable. Student council rooms goes dead silent. Huh? Kazugawa's grip on her skirt falters and fails, but her skirt doesn't go up and I don't get to see everything. Marian had also stopped pulling on Kazugawa's skirt. I said nothing wrong, at least I don't think so. I missed something. Can't shake off that feeling inside.
そこに立って。
Huh?
いいからそこに立つ。
I do as I'm told after being taken to the staircase and stand in front of it. Then Marian runs to the top of the stairs, turns back to face me.
ダ
Then,
ブルマーリャンキーク。
Jesus Christ, I'm bombarded from above by Senpai's
ワン
flying
ツー
kick.
スリー。うっぎゃ
Senpai raises her arms and lets out a war cry. Senpai, what are you doing? What's this for? I'm on the verge of death as I crawl and look up at her. Senpai looks down at me and
ー。どうし
exclaims,
てどうして俺が副会長だって言わないの。
Senpai, despite being under attack, I suddenly object. Because isn't that mingling public policy with private interests? But Marian just roars at me.
公私混同の何が悪い。
Senpai? Senpai's eyes are the epitome of seriousness. There wasn't a snot of her usual
い
playfulness.
いサーリャンは口下手でうじうじばっかなダメダメダメっ子なのを知ってるでしょ。きっとサーリャンの心の副会長はターリャンだったのに。
But listen, she needs someone more reliable precisely because I want to protect her. The words don't
そ
come
こに
out.
立つ。
Marian climbs the stairs once more and glares at me.
ド
Then,
リルマーリャンキーク。
can you stop that? Ah! I'm floored once again by Marian's first fierce
俺じゃ
kick.
ダメって言ったせいでサーリャン絶対に傷ついた。サーリャンの気持ち台無しにした。
Marian shouts at me, glaring as I stand there
今から
dumbfounded.
立候補し直しても無駄だかんね。私になんか言われてしぶしぶなったって思われるに決まってるでしょ。気にする子なんだから。今からそんな難しい子に誰を組ませるつもりなのよ。責任取りなさいよね。
In the end, we spent the day in the student council room silently with an awkward atmosphere surrounding us. Student council vice president. Is it that big of a deal? Big of a deal. But at the end of the day, the end of the school day eventually rolls around and Kazugawa and I leave the room. None of the social graces, Marian abruptly left. Only Kazugawa and I are there, but we're not complete strangers. So it would be unnatural to run off now. We maintain a neutral distance between us. We're friends, coincidentally maintaining an optimal distance, and without a word we descend the hill. But comfortable with this distance. Kazugawa's there, close enough to hold hands, and reach of help. That's my position. I'm troubled by Marian's comments, but it would seem dishonest to breach that distance. Might have ulterior motives, as if to touch senpai. I don't want that even as an accident. To surpass man's intrinsic nature, to support senpai, to protect her with pure motives. I don't want to dishonor senpai's purity. But I always fail. Senpai always apologizes, even though she does nothing wrong. I've touched her breasts, seen her in her underwear, and today I sneak a look sidelong at senpai. You hate me.
河野さん、
I'm surprised senpai stands still. Senpai? Did you notice? I constantly avert my eyes, no why. But what she says is not what I was expecting.
やっぱり生徒会には副会長以下他の役員が必要だと思う？変よね、やっぱり。明確な規定がないとはいえ、6ヶ月も私だけの生徒会なんて。
I think my fucking headphones just beeped. Even though that would be kind of worrying if they did. You know what? I will plug them in if it beeps again. Well, but everything's running so smoothly now. I hesitantly add, Why did I say that when I had to deny the position of vice president just moments ago? However,
河野さん、
Senpai turns to me and
私
announces,
副会長を探すわ。
Senpai,
何かあった時、きっと困るでしょ。それに新学期だからタイミングも悪くないと思うの。
that's fair. It does indeed make sense. My heart cannot agree, but unable to refuse, I just listen. Then she begs of me,
探してくれる？副会長。
well,
私、こういう人間だから他に人を知らないし。だから、河野さんに頼みたいの。お願い。
she bows deeply. Senpai, there's no need to do that. Can't see you like this, I promise her. I will look. So please raise your head. I tell her over and over, and this makes her raise her head.
ありがとう。
Kuzugawa smiles somewhat forcefully. Senpai, you ought to appreciate the profoundness of what Marion said. As president, who on earth could tackle Kuzugawa? Classes start tomorrow. Over the break, I just got bored and wanted school to start. Now school is here, I'm already missing holidays. Should probably be happy that these are my biggest worries. Okay, that one was 100% copy-paste, go to bed type thing. You don't get to decide. It's both or nothing. However, this apparently still is Sasara-Route? Huh? Well, I'll see you next time, I guess. Bye-bye. I don't know how to fucking title these. Do I already title this Sasara-Route? Like, at that point, the last part might as well already be Sasara-Route. This is fucking tough to title. Help! Bye. Actually, you know what? I'll go back and call last part 1 of Sasara-Route retroactively. Actually, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing that one since that still has a bunch of content that isn't Sasara related. I'm gonna do it for this one though. Like just because Tama and Yuma became a thing in part 2, I'm not doing that. Part 3. Part 2? Part 3? I myself am not sure anymore. God damn. Nah, it was just Tama in the last one. Yeah, I'm gonna call this part 1 of Sasara-Route, just officially. Like, we're pretty firmly just stuck in there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and see you next time. Bye-bye.